I would have picked Asuka, but she got annoying pretty quick.
I might pick Asuka just because she's the only one who has a profile, and it is Thursday, or what I'd like to call Wednesday.
Kawaru was kind of cool, and then he was an angel, and I said, eh.
Who's Kawaru?
He was there for one episode.
Yeah, the fifth child.
Oh, the gay one?
Yeah.
Damn. Made me sad that he was gone. He was gay!
I know, but it's just funny.
He's the gay one. It's canon. And then Netflix tried to censor it.
That's so fucked up. Welcome, everyone, to episode 100 of the Funky Anime Podcast. We did it.
We did it.
We finally made it.
Hey, congratulations.
Guys,
Congratulations.
Congratulations.
Congratulations. 100 episodes of our own reality where we get to force one another to watch anime.
Well, that's only how you perceive it.
anime.
I perceived it as we just happened to watch the same anime that week. Accidentally.
Each timeline is its own, huh?
Yeah, it'd really be like that, dude.
Here with me today, imagining a world where he's the tallest man on Earth, we have Pino.
I hate you so much. I'm finally tall. I can now look down on everyone.
And in Pino's reality, we have Chuck, currently on the bottom of Pino's shoe.
Look at you.
Squish. What's the weather like down there, Chuck?
Can't hear him.
He's dead.
He's too small.
We killed him.
He's too
And
small.
I'm Garb, piloting the Pino Jellion as it stomps Chuck down to oblivion.
I can't believe it. Where's my boy?
Is he there? No, he's squished like a little ant. Well, while we scrape him off, I want to thank our lovely patrons. I want to thank Cream Puff, Mega Lazy Dude, Anime of the Week, Cosmos, and Greta.
Let's go. Thank you. 100 episodes in.
And I'm going to apologize to everyone ahead of time because we're going to fuck up the plot of this. And you may also notice that, yes, this is part one. Since this show decided that it's going to split the plot up, we're not above stooping that low. And we're going to split this one up into 3 episodes.
Hey guys, did you know that we're watching Eva for the next month?
Dude, who would have thought? Not me. Hey man, I'm looking forward. We gotta celebrate episode 100 with a bang. Yeah. It wouldn't feel right just watching one.
I don't think this is a celebration. I'm gonna be honest.
My perception, we're celebrating. Your perception, we're getting it out of the way.
My perception is that I'm
different
never
realities.
Watch this again.
That's
different
all.
realities. Congratulations.
I do want to thank Cream Puff in particular for really making sure that we watch Eva here. I was digging through old messages on the Discord. You can join for $1 on the Patreon, by the way.
Wow.
Where Cream Puff on April 28th of last year was like, why do y'all refuse to watch Eva? Meanwhile, this episode was listed as episode 100 since this season started, I think.
Since before. Since before?
Okay, yeah, we
agreed
decided
on
it was going to be, episode 100 for a while back. And I also, while I was digging around, saw that Cream Puff said, I will also humbly request that when y'all do watch it, please watch the end of Eva as well. We're listening, but we're going to split this shit up so that we can actually digest it and understand.
Yeah. Also, because you're going to hear me talk about this a lot, I have issue with something being made and then they immediately turn around and say, wait. You need to watch 4 other pieces of media and play 3 video games to understand.
You're going to play the mobile game.
I would agree, and then I started playing Kingdom Hearts, and now I don't know what to think anymore.
Well, but like Kingdom Hearts is a video game series. It's not like so what we're gonna do now is we're gonna make this series, right? But then we're not gonna finish it correctly, so we're gonna have to redo it twice.
There's some mobile games you gotta play to get the plot. There's some games that turn into movies that you have to watch to get the plot easier.
Games, so it's fine.
We're only doing this. We're gonna watch. What are the other movies that you're gonna be doing?
So what's gonna happen is that this week Garb is piloting us through the original series, and then Pino will be taking us through the recap of Death and Rebirth, and then the end of Evangelion.
Yes, sir.
And then I have the awful task of going through the Evangelion rebuild movies. So that's 1, 2, and 3, and I think I'm going to have to figure out how to get the director's cuts for all of them, and it's going to be awful.
But we're doing it. We're
dedicated, dude.
We're going to cover it all.
Because we have Wham.
So, please pray for us. I feel like all of our psyches have taken permanent damage after watching this.
I have so much
I don't know, I feel pretty good.
It's awful.
That's good. Well, how was the rest of your day, Pino?
Pretty good. I want to call out Nintendo. Nintendo, you said no more Mario 3D All-Stars. I found like tons of copies at Target.
Yes.
So I went ahead and bought it.
'Cause they're dumb.
And I've been playing Mario 64 ever since.
Nice.
Oh, are they? Oh, damn it. No, there's 4 movies.
Yeah, there's 4.
that we have to watch.
Dude,
endless suffering.
Nah, this is gonna put us on the map, baby. We're gonna be up there next to. We're gonna be up there next to Conan O'Brien Needs a Friend, and what other podcast is there?
And podcast number 2.
Number 2. Hell yeah, baby! Look at that. Look at us. Who would have thought?
It is. I'm not excited.
Also, if I sound crisper, it's because I am. Finally got that mic.
Yeah.
Another tidbit for the episode 100. Chuck's been hounding me to get a new mic since 3 years ago.
For
milestone.
Probably since season 2 ended.
Yes.
I'm gonna be honest. So
moving up in the world.
We're moving up. Absolutely.
Well, how about you, Chuck? How you been? You've still been watching World Trigger, right?
I haven't watched World Trigger in a couple weeks.
But you're almost finished with season 1.
Yes, I have like 4 episodes left for season 1. And then I've also watched half of Ranking of Kings, and it's still airing, and the dub's still airing. And that's very good. I'd much rather watch Ranking of Kings than Eva, but that's neither here nor there. Osama Ranking is goated. Everyone should watch that. That's my pick for anime of the year 2021 after Dragon Maid S, but you know.
It'd be like times.
We love Dragon Maid.
What about you, Garb? What have you been up to?
Metal Gear Solid 3.
Wow, yeah,
since
that's right.
Since I played Revengeance, I then was like, all right, well, we got to go back to the start of this timeline here. And
I find it interesting you started chronologically, game history-wise instead of chronologically release-wise, which is interesting. I debated doing what you did, and I think I did end up doing what you did, and then I was like, you know what, let me start at 1, and so then I went 1, 2, 3, 4, and then I went back. But I think you'll still get the whole overall experience. You'll just get like different tidbits along the way.
Yeah. Well, and speaking of going through things in a chronological order here, we've watched a lot of other Gainax and Trigger productions on this podcast.
This is true.
And we've kind of gone backwards. It took us a long time to get to Eva, but here we are, because we've seen Gurren Lagann already, Kill la Kill, and dare I say Franks.
We saw Penny and Stocking. That's Gainax.
Yep,
Gainax,
that was
Gainax.
Right. Yeah. Fooly Cooly. We watched Fooly Cooly. Furikuri.
Oh wait, I hated that.
I'm gonna kill you.
Fool.
Sorry, I like poking at you.
Yeah.
I'm gonna
So
poke you off a cliff.
this was I don't think this was Gainax. This wasn't their first production, but this was
No, Gainax has been doing things for
yeah.
ages.
But this is the one that got big.
Yeah.
And boy, did it get to be a huge, I guess, like cultural milestone.
Yeah, it has very much taken over the shit.
Yeah, it's in the pop
taken
culture
over
ethos.
Pop culture. It was in fucking a Robin Williams movie where he looks at it and says Neon Genesis Evangelion, and it makes me giggle.
You're gonna have to show me that. After
It is.
Please.
I'm gonna send this to
Please.
them right now. But
Yeah, man. I mean, this
for
is
anyone.
like this series is like you just know about it either by the memes, gifs, the opening, the ending. It's just one of those things that every anime fan at least has some exposure to one way or another.
Yep. Or
There you
if you
go.
haven't seen the show itself, you've seen shows inspired by it. Like
Absolutely.
yes.
ourselves.
What
So
movie is this?
I can't remember off the top of my head, but there's a scene.
Wow. What does he do?
Wow.
wow. What does he do?
That's a good guy.
Yeah.
Tumbling down. Dude, this video
Anyway,
is great.
spoilers at the end, so stop watching.
Yeah. I was like, I don't recognize those guys. Let's just close this tab now.
Yeah, do not watch.
Dude, that's all right.
we'll
I
get
forgot
there.
anyways.
But yes, Neon Genesis Evangelion, Robin Williams, look it up. It's very funny. But yeah, so Gainax, like we were talking about, they've done things. They've done mecha anime for a while, and then this was the big hit.
Yep.
Basically, I think it has the most members by far on my anime list, which obviously isn't a perfect indicator because older shows usually don't have as much, just due to the fact that lower exposure.
Mm-hmm.
And in Japan, some of them are much more focused. Like, I know that a couple of Gainax things previously that, like, I think I've heard of Beat Shot before and Gunbuster. Both of
That's a
those were
fucking rad
Gainax.
name. I like
Yeah, those were Gainax prior. So then, but the Eva is kind of just like that, like 1995 mid 90s stylistic dark edgy anime that really just kind of took the anime world by the goat, and they said, well, this is what it's gonna be from now on.
that.
And so Gainax has basically been living in the shadow in the entire time, despite me thinking that Gurren Lagann's better. And they've been releasing movies for years and years and years. Really, that's the only thing that Gainax has been putting out, recently.
I think we recently got a movie, right, for Eva?
We did. We got 3.0 plus 1.0.
Oh my god, these fucking
It's done.
names.
Yes, it's fucking awful. It is the worst. Well, actually, no, because funnily enough, 3.0 plus 1.0 was actually animated by a different company.
Oh.
Kara, Khara.
Yeah, that one, we're
But-
going to talk about them more later.
Yes, and we will. We're gonna have to watch those in the future.
Oh, boy.
Fuck.
Well, let's go ahead and get into the
Yeah.
nitty-gritty of the show's history.
The shitty bitty.
So, it's an original work. And I guess the
you
big
can tell.
the big brainchild behind it is Ano Hideaki, who was the producer, director. He contributed to the script, storyboard, animation, mechanical
This
designs.
was his baby.
Yeah, it's his brainchild. He's the co-founder of Gainax, and he directed a bunch of other stuff, more Eva, obviously, Fooly Cooly, and then he left Gainax in 2006 to form Studio Kara, that you just brought up here. And it was not a pretty breakup. It started with a lawsuit I think it was like 100 million yen because he wasn't happy with the compensation. And
Very fair.
yeah, he was like, no, fuck y'all, middle finger, out of here. And we're making our own studio with blackjack and hookers. And
I mean, Gainax kind of has a history of having all of their employees kind of splinter out.
Yeah, where they're like, we're kind of sick of this. Let's make our own. And yeah, we see that later with Trigger as well, which we've talked about that pretty extensively so far. And so some of the other notable producers, we have Yamaga Hiroyuki, who is now the current president of Gainax, who also contributed to Fooly Cooly and Gurren Lagann, and he also did a little bit on Panty and Stocking. And one other producer I want to talk about, Kobayashi Noriko, who was a producer for Naruto, Gintama, and Fruits Basket. So, yeah, you can really see where some careers took off at this point here. And while this isn't the original work, Chuck, I do want to hear you go off on Netflix and their fuckery.
Okay.
Oh, yeah, because they recently acquired the streaming, right?
Yes. Well, recently, as in 2 years ago.
Hey, I don't. One of those years didn't
No,
exist.
I know.
One of those
Believe me,
years wasn't
whenever
real.
whenever I think about Netflix acquiring it, I'm like, oh, that was like 4 months ago. No, this was back in the middle of 2019. So that makes me feel awful. So basically, what happens is Netflix acquired the rights to, or like the license to show Eva on their streaming service. But, well, and it was also announced that it would come with a new dub. So it received a new dub. It received a couple international dubs. Hence, Pino watched this one episode of the Spanish dub. But when it got released, fans were kind of in a big kerfuffle.
Oh my!
Because of many reasons. It's a multifaceted thing. So I'll just hit the big one first. The end credits is a different song.
Oh.
Because, so basically, in 1995, and in general, things were a lot cheaper, and licensing music, especially music from the West to Japan, specifically, was much cheaper. It wasn't as lucrative of a market as it is now. And so, most people who's watched Eva, that all the endings are versions of Fly Me to the Moon by Frank Sinatra. But instead, due to increased licensing fees, even though I call bullshit, because Netflix is a multi-billion-dollar company, and they paid $100 million for licensing for Friends, I think, if I remember that correctly. Some astronomical number. That's bullshit. They couldn't pay the licensing fees.
Yeah, that's a little sketch, actually, now that you mention it.
So, and also, the song is still present in the Netflix version in Japan, but not in the US. So, fuck us, right?
I didn't know that. And also that's super messed up.
That also bleeds into into one of the scenes where Misato is listening to the voicemail. We all know that scene. There's a the song behind it during that scene, so that's not in the Netflix. Obviously, new dub, completely new voice actor or voice cast, which people have kind of bashed, saying that has less personality. Because to be fair, the original Eva dub is very much personality driven. It is very unique, because this was still kind of the Wild West of dubbing. And so it was just very much, while it's a faithful dub, it has a lot more personality than what we'd say the new dub is. So that's why a lot of fans favor the old dub.
And normally, when you're not satisfied with the dub, you'd watch the sub.
Oh, hey, but they changed the sub, though.
Yeah.
They changed translation all over the place to make it more like true to source material is I think what they said. But that's not what localization and subbing is. It comes to a point where you need to maybe make these small adjustments that like help serve the story better while still keeping the original intent. For example, like from what I have read, the Japanese don't really have swear words, like as like a, like a sectioned off like set of words that are swear words. So when the new dub and sub, no swear words are used in the translation, which is very bizarre. And we also have there is some gay subtext that was removed. So we all know that the fifth child, what's his name?
Kawaru.
Can't remember his name.
Let me double check here.
Yeah, you know the guy,
Kaworu Nagisa.
Yeah, the kid, spoilers, who turned out to be an angel. In the original sub, it says it means I love you. In the new sub, it says it means I like you.
What?
Yes, so it's bullshit.
It's kind of
That's like a whole thing that. That's so
yes.
dumb. Okay, whatever.
Yes, it is. Yeah, like he says that Shinji is worthy of love, and I love you.
Yeah, and there was the
new
whole
one,
thing
he says,
about how Shinji was like, no one's ever said I love you to me before.
Yes. Mm-hmm. Yeah, so
What the fuck, Netflix?
Yeah. No cursing. And then apparently, just a small thing. Apparently in the dub, they pronounce nerve differently.
How
like-
how else can you say that?
Narv.
Narv?
Narv.
Narv?
You got
I don't
some
know.
nerve, boy.
I simply don't understand. I'm gonna be honest. But it's just a really kind of bizarre thing that Netflix did, and they caught a lot of flack, and hence why I said that if you are to watch the show, I would recommend to not be using Netflix.
Yar har har.
Unless you are like using a Japanese Netflix account, then you use the English. I don't even know if the English sub is correct on that, but
Probably not.
regardless, yeah, it's probably not different. Fly Me to the Moon is really the main the main culprit here. That is such a big part of Eva's identity that without it feels even worse. So
Yeah, because that's got the whole different parts of the cast singing along,
mhm.
And he just can't,
Yep, no, it's just a piano like rendition of some other song.
That's like if they fucking changed the JoJo endings. If instead of Last Train Home, it was just some stock song, it would be so fucked up.
That's basically how it feels.
Like
it's
JoJo
it's
without
awful.
Roundabout. Could you imagine?
I could never.
Don't.
I
I don't
would
want to have
rather
nightmares.
die.
Don't do this to me.
Yeah. Right? So, big middle finger to Netflix. And that's enough complaining for that segment now.
I mean, there will be much more complaining.
Oh, yeah. But for that segment, we're good. We'll move on to first impressions here. Now, none of us had seen it before. We've all definitely heard the opening. Please correct me if I'm wrong.
Yeah, Corey in the house. No? Okay, cool. Just me? Okay, good. Cool. Anyways, I have a confession to make. I remember very vaguely turning on the TV one time, watching Toonami back in the day, and it was one of the Eva movies. And I sat there watching for maybe about 30 minutes. I had no idea what was going on. And then I promptly said, I'm not watching this, and then left the room. That is my only experience with Eva content, like officially, not like, I mean, we've memes and everything. Several of my friends hold this series to a high regard. to the point where they wanted me to watch with them, and I was like, you guys are pushing it a little. I said no the first time. I said no the second time. I said no the 10th time. I said no the 20th time. I get it. You guys enjoy the series. But again, to each their own. I honestly this is one of those series I avoid because of, one, it's really held high, and two, because it looks like one of those series that makes you think, or three, it might make my tummy feel a little funny. But other than that, that's all I know.
0 out of 5.
0 out of 5.
Tummy felt funny.
Stummy hurts.
Oh,
Yeah.
man.
You got anything else to add on there?
Who, me?
Pino?
Oh, no, you, Chuck.
Oh, just like first experiences?
Yeah.
I guess. I mean, I am very surprised on how little I know about Eva. I'm gonna be honest. For being on the internet for so long and, being in anime circles and hearing, the stories of like, oh, this is the greatest anime ever made. Oh, this like changed my perception on what anime could be. Blah, blah, blah.
You sound like me with Akira, dude.
Yeah. I mean, like, it to a degree, yeah. I do agree with that statement that, like, it is held to such a high regard that, like, part of me was put off. I'm just like, I don't want to watch this.
And then by that time, expectations get to be so high that if it doesn't meet that, then...
So I already knew that, like, I am not going to be as high as a regard as everyone else because that's just how it is. I just didn't want to watch it, and so I never did. I strayed away from any Eva talk, any Eva focused things. Like, through cultural osmosis, I know what Shinji is. I know Asuka. I know who Rei is. I know, like, getting the mecha, ha ha ha. But, like, beyond very surface level things and, like, knowing the openings and endings, like, that's it. So this is basically blind for me.
It's
like
kind of blind for all of us, which is nice.
Which is crazy.
It's not every day that you get a blind series for all of us.
That you get a blind series about the most critically acclaimed show on the internet.
Well, series. I wouldn't say show, but maybe it is show. I don't know. I feel like people like to enjoy the series a lot more.
Yeah, because of how many comments we got to don't just watch the anime, you need to watch the movies and stuff too. So I'm gonna say critically acclaimed series. But it's
a daunting task.
Yeah, and it is like you were saying, it's pretty amazing that we've managed to go this far, but all good things must come to an end.
Time to split the fan
ignorance.
And now we are changed forever. Now the podcast will be split into 2 eras: pre-Eva and post-Eva.
Truly a cruel angel's thesis.
The first angel is now descended upon us.
No!
Well, let's jump into that presentation then. So,
pretty classic, right?
Yeah. First half, definitely impressive. Really amazing stuff.
I like it.
And then
it feels like home.
Yeah. Yeah, it's you can tell it's hand drawn, and this is very much before digital animation, and there's none of that stank. There's love poured into each and every one of these frames. Except maybe that you can tell in the second half they had burned through a lot of their budget. And there was that section near the end with Nagisa where he's just sitting there for like 20 seconds. They're just staring.
I mean, there are points throughout this series. I don't feel like they ran out of budget or whatever. It has the classic 90s anime aesthetic, hand drawn, a little bit scuffed, but like not in a bad way.
Yeah.
Like it has that personality to it. I feel like specifically the mech designs are really cool and the angel designs were really cool.
The explosions are pretty cool when they turn into crosses.
Yeah. Dude,
the crosses.
Guys, did you know that symbolism? That's it. And so it looks really nice. and like that's no, that's not the best part of the show, but it does look super nice.
Yeah.
I think that aesthetically holds up super well. Overall, I'm just a huge fan of like 80s and 90s anime aesthetics, just due to the fact that it can hold so much personality, and like someone had to draw all of these like physically and then scan like basically put it onto a reel. So it's very impressive.
And the color choice.
Oh yeah, the color
Everything-
theory in this fucking
Yeah,
show.
it pops. It looks beautiful.
Yeah,
And
it's solid.
I do want to talk more about those designs. So
There's a lot of choices they made in this show also, if I can interrupt. For people who don't like flashing lights or a lot of very quick repeating images, you just be warned, there's a lot of that later in the series. So I understand why they did that. I just don't like it. My eyes don't agree with it.
Yeah, this is definitely just a light epilepsy warning. I don't feel like there are definitely points, especially when they're flashing text or doing a quote unquote like memory scene where they like flash, one frame of animation like 100 times. It's not great. That's where it kind of shows its age, because anime nowadays would either like darken the screen or just simply not do that.
Yeah.
So just warning, obviously you've probably already seen it, or you're not fucking,
Yeah, and I don't
it.
I imagine we're gonna fuck enough of this up that this is gonna be close enough to spoiler free. You're gonna get a lot of details, but
You're going to get what we
who knows
understood.
if they're right,
yeah.
which is not a lot.
But we got more Eva to go to fill in the blanks, and please feel free to email us.
Yeah. Wiki
and when.
admins, scholars.
But we can't look at the wikis yet,
you're right.
because we have spoilers that we need to avoid.
Right.
Yeah.
Just
Because now we
any
actually,
scholar.
now that we're flying close to the sun, we have to tread carefully.
Mm-hmm. I mean, I've done this long without like finding spoilers, so I'm gonna be damned if I do it now. So
I've only seen one. Only seen
I've
one,
seen
and
one
it
as
wasn't
well.
even the wiki. And it wasn't even the wiki. It was just I was just doing a search. And I was typing a character's name, and one of the recommended was like, "Oh, this character, death." Like,
Oh, that
great,
happened to me
thanks.
literally when you shared that video earlier, like 10 minutes ago. And I was like, well, I kind of do, but oh well.
well, no, I don't think. That's not something.
It's okay.
That's
Maybe
not
we
what you
won't
think
even
it
get
is,
to that
Pino.
point. Maybe those are so far away that it's not even going to impact us this time.
Well, Pino, that's not.
I don't know, because
I don't think
I just
that's-
typed in Evangelion, and then I saw a couple things I don't think I wanted to see.
Well, yeah, that's why you don't look up anything, Pino. I've told you this time and
but
time
you
again.
have to do something.
Yeah.
Anyway.
No, you do nothing.
Anyway, so
Targeted search terms.
listen, I tried, but the Eva design's obviously very cool. And for the first half of the show, when there's a lot of action, it really shows off those designs.
Yeah.
And beautiful.
It's good. I also want to point out specifically the technology that they were using, more of like not specifically the Evas, but more so like the computers
Scientists,
and the
research
screens and the
facility.
technology. Yeah, I think those hold up super well as kind of. I love the 90s view of the future. And by the way, this show's supposed to take place in 2015, by the way.
Yeah.
Hey, we made it.
7 years ago.
We made it.
Yeah. But regardless, I feel like I love retro future technology. I think
Yeah.
it's so great. It makes me so happy every time I see it. So,
I love every time I saw
It's great.
Shinji with his Walkman.
yeah.
Wasn't even a Walkman. I just made me think of a Walkman.
Damn, he walking, man.
Hey, never gonna break his stride.
I want to talk about the angel designs as well.
Dude.
They're pretty
Have you-
cool.
You ever seen a literal diamond in the sky? Some of them are pretty interesting, and then they kind of go off to the weird end, at least for
Generic.
me. I was still with Diamond, and then you got like the line, and I was like, oh, okay.
Yeah, that one's just a circle.
Just a circle. I'm like, interesting. And then it was just, I don't know, the progression of the angels. It was weird because then again, spoilers. At the end, you get like an actual like kind of physical person as an angel. I was like, well, I mean, cool. I didn't think
it's beyond human comprehension, Pino.
Yeah, I don't know. It was weird. I don't think I don't know. As the series continued, I was like, these angels are getting a little too weird.
Yeah. I think all of them are named as well, and
but we're calling them the first, second, third angel, whatever the fuck this.
Unless you remember.
I'm assuming these are like biblical names for them.
I mean, I assume they're named of like biblical angels. I'm gonna be honest.
Yeah, probably
because that's just how it is. Really,
there's
literally
there's a lot of Christian imagery, a lot of
yes, yeah.
They're literal crucified angel.
They are all names from specifically Old Testament angels, I think.
Okay.
But yeah, well, we can talk about this now as well since it's part of the more design than anything else. So the creator, while looking for inspiration, he thought that Christian imagery in specific was really cool.
Just cool.
Okay. Yes. And literally, I think he made a statement years later. I'll look it up if I can find it. I'll read it out. But basically, he said something along the lines of, I literally read no deeper into the Christian imagery beyond it looked cool and like had cool names. Like that's literally it. So, guys, you're reading too much into it, truly, because the creator said it. So fucking.
Okay, well, that's good to know because I will admit my jaw dropped when I saw that one angel.
What, crucified on the fucking?
Oh,
yeah,
really?
God, Adam crucified.
Apparently that wasn't Adam. But I'm very confused. I'm reading over.
Yeah, it is Lilith.
Yeah, because Kawaru says, "Oh, Lilith," and I'm just like, "Who?" I don't see any character named Lilith. I'm going to assume it's this crucified white thing.
At the end, Ikari has Adam like imbued in his hand.
Yeah, it was weird.
So spoilers. Yeah, I still don't know what the fuck's up there, but we got a bunch of movies still to go over. So
absolutely,
maybe we'll find out. Maybe I don't know.
Yeah, no, he said, where is it?
I thought it looked cool, which, you know what?
Yeah,
I respect that.
I'm trying to figure out if I thought I had the quote of symbolism, but I thought I read it, but
I know I heard the same thing too. I think it was.
Yeah. So he said, Shiromaki said in 2001, there are a lot of giant robot shows in Japan, and we wanted our story to have a religious theme to help distinguish us. Because Christianity is an uncommon religion in Japan, we thought it would be mysterious. None of the staff who worked on EVA are Christians. There are no actual Christian meanings in the show. We just thought the visual symbols of Christianity looked cool.
Okay.
Was that thing you said before, Chuck? You're reading into it too much?
Yeah.
Yeah, I think.
Don't read it. That's literally it. It's fucking, it looks cool. But then he said years later, he's like, maybe there is deeper meaning. I'm like, shut up. I don't care.
You already know.
Yeah, you already, and also just, I'm going to mention this, each episode. When creators go back and try to assert meaning into something that they did not have intent to have deeper meaning,
guys, that's
bullshit.
This is actually a really deep philosophical podcast.
Yeah, guys, you need to go back to episode 51, and you can see that when we were talking about Code Geass and we said the thought elevator, we weren't just making a joke about THOT. We were actually talking about ascending our brains to a higher level watching anime.
And we get much
and I don't want anyone to say otherwise because that was the original intent by all three of us, and it was not just a joke.
Hi, this is Pino. I just thought the word thought was a funny thing. Don't tell anyone. Shh.
No!
It made me
It
It still makes me
It makes me hee hee, dude. I'm about to go to the thought elevator right now, dude.
Yeah, it's dumb.
So, okay, fun fact. We like that.
Mm-hmm.
What else? We already kind of went over the voice acting.
Let's go with that OST. I mean, you know?
Oh,
yeah.
fuck.
That kind of slapped.
When I said that the visuals were the best part of the show, it is not. It's the OST. The OST fucking slams.
It's so good.
I love anytime they prep for battle and they have the little drum song. Doom, doom,
I was just going to say the
doom,
percussion
doom,
song.
Doom, doom. That's so good. Gets you pretty hyped for those battles.
I really love the next episode theme.
Oh, da, 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 da.
Yeah, it's the. It's great.
That's so
I love
good.
it.
This is my favorite segment.
That's really 90s. It's so 90s. I love it so much.
Yeah, and like all the Eva themes are so epic. All the fighting themes are so cool. Like truly. Shiro Sagisu. I assume that's probably not how to pronounce his name, but that's the composer behind the music, and goddamn is it so fucking good. It's unfair how fantastic the music is in this.
That one you were mentioning,
So-
Jikai Yokoku. That's the one. That's the end
Try
credits
again.
one.
I'll give you another.
Thank you.
Bless you.
Jikai Yokoku.
There you go.
Thank you.
Close enough. I'm gonna try and see if I can find the if he's done anything else.
Yeah, that's what
because
I was searching for too.
Yeah,
I'm still looking for the drum song.
There's
Guys, we're
two.
truly just-
There was like the timpani song, and there was also one that was just percussion whenever shit
Okay,
got
let's
really
see.
real.
Yeah.
What else did he? Oh, he did. Yeah, he did the music for the new Berserk series. He did stuff for Black Bullet, Bleach, SSSS Gridman, all the Eva stuff, the Berserk movies. What else has he done it for?
Oh, so he's responsible for blood and guts.
Yes. And he did Macross. So he's done a bunch of things. Also, he's done things like forever. Man's old as fuck. He was born in 57.
Huge shout outs to him.
Yeah, shout outs to him. I love how his website looks like it was made in 2012.
There's no other way to do it.
Truly, yeah. And he's wearing a funny little hat in it, so I love it. But yeah, music, phenomenal. Like, I love how there's a song called Hedgehog's Dilemma. It makes me laugh that's the name
Man,
that they chose.
That shit fucked me up. Anyway, that I just
Yeah.
remembered I'd never heard that phrase before. I was like, damn.
Yes. Also, Misato's theme, the happy one, with like the flute. Yes.
So
And then also, my favorite thing. So, Asuka is a German girl, but for some goddamn reason, her theme is twangy guitar and like a fiddle. Like, why? I love it. I just want to know what the intent was. Does this man not know what German music is?
No, that's more of that Christian imagery, dude. Wait.
He's like, you know what? I'm just gonna pound some German beer, and whatever song comes out, that's what we're working with.
I mean, it's great though. I love all the music. They all hit. There's not a single one that I'm like shit blows.
Absolutely.
Nah. Especially like Eva 0000. It is so like suspenseful and puts me on the edge of my seat every time. Truly masterclass in music. That's the one thing that I unambiguously have like the highest praise for. Like this would probably reach my top 10 anime OSTs of all time.
You know what my favorite
It
one
is-
was? I love when they
Which
played
one?
Ode to Joy. Just
They did. They're just like, yeah, here it is. Guess
I'm
you
a
should know.
sucker for actual classical music.
Yeah, we know,
Yeah.
Pino. It's just-
And
I Ignore me.
No, I love it, and they did it again in Kill la Kill, and I think
true.
this was the inspiration for
It's
that.
so true.
Yeah,
It's great though. I would highly recommend, even if you're not like into watching the show, which believe me, I understand more than anyone. The music, at the very least, you should at least check out some of them. They are like phenomenal orchestrated pieces. It's great. 100%.
yeah. I think that's unanimous there. That we
Yeah. That's going to be the only unanimous part.
Well,
of this
no.
podcast.
I mean, we haven't even reached everyone's favorite section.
Oh, it's true. This is an extension of the music, but yes.
Yeah.
All right,
So that
already.
opening,
Correct.
A Cruel
Dude.
Angel's Thesis by Yoko Takahashi.
Didn't know that was the name.
Possibly
Legendary.
the most iconic anime opening of all time.
I've never
This-
stood still in my seat listening to it. Sorry.
This Chala, Head Chala, I think those are the only two, really. You know, unless you're like going back and like saying like the Mobile Suit Gundam opening, because that is iconic, but that's not in the cultural zeitgeist still as much as Cruel Angel's Thesis and Chala, Head Chala, I guess. Yeah, I'm trying to think if there's any other that like truly surpass. Oh, I guess maybe like the first opening for Demon Slayer, I guess, because that was a huge thing, but it doesn't have the staying power as Cruel Angel's Thesis. But shit is truly bussin'. There's never been quite a jam.
Can't see me, but
as
I'm just
this
I'm vibing right now in my seat.
This is iconic. This is like one of like the three things I knew about Eva.
Rightfully
like,
so.
all the weird imagery of like the trees and shit with all the Latin names on them, and then just a really cool logo showing with a bunch of different characters. It has excellent timing with the the music, which never goes by me.
Oh my God.
Has some beautiful imagery. Uses a little bit of stuff from the show, but you know, especially back in the day when this is literally like all hand drawn, I'm not gonna be like, how dare they,
Dude.
How dare they fucking reuse this
And the majority of
sick-ass
it
scene.
is new anyway, so even then.
And also it's not for extended periods of time, which is another big thing.
Yeah.
Like, for example, they have like the little fucking tube that goes into the Eva's head. It shoots down like really quick, and then it shows like the timer start up for the battery life, which is cool because it looks sick as hell. And like overall, this is just a beautiful opening.
It's a bop.
The song is phenomenal. Shows all the characters, and like I don't know. It kind of gives you exactly what the show is going to be about,
It
but
prepares
also
you.
not at all.
It does prepare you for a few things later on.
It prepares you that shit's going to go crazy just based on like, you know, especially with the Eva and like beast mode or whatever the fuck, with all the blood on the ground and in its hands. Like, this is iconic. This is such a good opening. I love it. I love it so much.
The timing. You mentioned timing. That is this. It's pure. It's pure. What is it? Melatonin, serotonin. It's one of those things.
Serotonin is what you're looking for.
That's what
boss
it is.
man.
It's pure great feelings. That's all I'm gonna use. That's the word I'm gonna use.
Yeah,
It's so good.
This is the first time I had read the translated lyrics as well.
Oh, it's talking about a boy, right? It's
Yeah, it's essentially
it's
just
talking about Shinji.
Yeah, it's the story of Shinji.
Dude, it's how he
is
doesn't
cool.
get into that stupid mecha.
Hey, Shinji, get in the robot. Yo, Shinji,
No.
get in the robot.
Get into
Yeah,
the-
where's the 4K rap of the 4K kids dub rap?
There's a boy walking to school. He's
I
a
recommend
pilot
that.
too.
It wasn't really for kids. It's a parody, but it's
Yeah, I
very
know.
funny. Please,
So good.
one of the
Yeah.
patrons showed it to us.
It's very good. And then also what's the one that you posted, Pino? The
Cumbia version.
yes.
that was another one too. Just
And
so
who
it
hasn't
works
seen
slower.
who hasn't seen the Seinfeld version?
That's like I mean, like there are so many like memes of this opening at this point. Like
It's a national
that's just
treasure.
it. Once again, it's part of the cultural zeitgeist at this point,
know.
especially in
You guys remember ages ago?
anime.
There's ages ago where they would just play this song over LMFAO's one of their dances. That gets me all the time too. It just works
because it has the same BPM,
Yep,
dude.
It just works. Can I just listen to the opening while we're doing the episode, just on repeat?
I mean, that's literally what I've do like every time there's a good opening.
I have it playing in my head 24/7.
It's true. I can't escape it.
So good.
Yeah. This is definitely a no skip.
Listen to
No
the full
skip
version,
opening.
by the way. Just
The full version's really
they
good.
have this weird chanting in the middle, which I don't think are actually words.
It could be words though.
Don't
have
think
you ever
that-
considered?
I know. I don't think so.
Oh, I really like the part where Asuka was speaking in German, but it was still like the Japanese voice
Guten
actor.
Morgen.
And so, yeah, you could tell that it's not
It's
good
so
German at
unnatural.
all. Oh, it's great. I love it.
Just like Attack
I
on
appreciate
Titan,
I
got 'em.
appreciate the hustle though, for
Yeah.
sure.
Yeah, man.
Without a doubt. Cool. Did you have something else, Pino?
No, just look at this graph. That's what I always think about when I see those little
Look at
charts.
this
Look at this graph. That's all.
So are we ready to talk about those endings?
Oh
Yeah.
boy.
We got
I sent them all. There's how many? 16?
yeah.
14. There's 14 of them. It's a lot. But luckily they're all variations of Fly Me to the Moon, so it's not
Yeah.
as awful to do, but we can still if you want me to take the head, because I know you didn't really want to.
Yeah, no, I was just going to say
these-
there's a lot of them, and sometimes the voice actors sing it.
Yeah,
Sometimes
so I'll just,
they don't even sing it.
It's true. So
Ray's voice actor
yeah,
sings
we have
a
Ray's.
couple.
We also have Asuka's voice actor.
Yeah, I could tell. I
actress.
could tell. I didn't even need to look that up. I was like, yep, that's Asuka's voice actor.
But just quickly going through. So first one is the bass one, "Fly Me to the Moon," by Claire, and it's
Shout
just
out to Claire.
a good classic, pretty song.
Good cover, yeah.
It's very good, iconic still. And then we have a bunch of different versions of Ray's voice actress, Megumi Hayashibara. Her singing it, she does it a couple times. There's slight differences, I think. I don't
Probably.
know why they're.
Who cares?
I don't know. Yeah, well, they're all classified as different ones.
Yeah, Mal only lists 10 different versions, so I don't know, man.
It also might be visual change. I don't know.
Yeah,
Regardless,
some of them just
there's a
look
bunch
different.
of those. Yeah, there's also a 4-beat version, which is a more upbeat, swingy one.
I like the techno version.
Which
Yeah,
well,
that one.
we haven't gotten there yet. Pino.
Sorry,
That one's
that's
my
the first one I
favorite.
clicked. That's why.
Anyway, there's also Ayabasa, which is the techno one.
See, we were
Ayabasa
there.
techno.
It's like I didn't even interrupt.
You did interrupt though. I'm so upset with
Man,
you.
just
but it's
fly
a
me to the moon
banger.
already.
Okay. And then we also have, with the same bossa beat, we have Yoko Takahashi, who's the voice actress for Asuka. She does a couple of those, one of the normal and then one of the bossa. Then we also have the more swingy one off vocal. We have the normal off vocal.
There's some with
We have
groups.
so there's the Aki Jungle one, which is just like a really interesting like remix type. I don't know how to describe it, but it's cool. I think it's really nice.
Makes me think of Kingdom Hearts.
Yeah, a little bit. And then we have the one with the funny horns, the B22 A-type one, and it has a little squeak, whoa, whoa, things like that. It's great.
Sorry.
Ooh. Yeah, that's what it sounds like.
I love those horns. Not gonna lie, dude. Grew up with those.
Yeah, they're
horns.
great. They make me happy every time I hear them. I'm like, wow, they went ooh, 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 ooh.
Dude, it's just like
So,
me.
yeah. Dude, they are just like me.
Dude, I am all of me.
Well,
But yes,
are we
very
ready?
cool.
Yeah.
I mean, we'll do our best, right?
Fly me to the moon, Garb. Fly me to the moon.
Do what you can, boss.
The
No!
third angel attacks. So yeah, regular military equipment doesn't do shit. And they're like, Nerve, you guys take care of this.
Sounds
Nerve
familiar, dude.
is, yeah, they're an entity that's, I think they're funded by the UN in universe and probably other places because I imagine they're gonna need a lot of money for that shit. And they actually talk about that a little bit in the show. But it was established after they established that after the second impact is when Nerve was created. More on that later. And it was to research angels and Eva. So Nerve has to have a child operate the Eva. Eva's a bioweapon. And their guy this round is Shinji Ikari, sorry.
There you go.
He's the son of Nerve Commander Gendo Ikari. And so they're like, all right, you're going to live with Misato, our captain, and deal with that and get in the robot. And this is actually the second Eva, even though it's called Eva Unit 01, it's the second one. The first one is 00.
As it should be, you know.
They just throw him in the robot and are like,
prototype.
Fight God, basically. Just have at it, figure it out, see what happens.
Do it.
And he gets his ass beat. He's paralyzed, understandably.
Yeah, his first time in the mech, right?
He got fucking thrown in. They're just like, tag you in, fight God. And the Eva takes critical damage. And the Eva kind of takes control on its own and is like, no, you're getting your ass beat. And it tears through the Angel's AT field. More on AT fields later. And so he did it. He beat the Angel. Whoopie-doo.
Yeah.
And school the next day, some people are like, whoa, he's the guy that pilots the Even. And Toji was like, my sister got hurt, so I'm going to beat the shit out of you.
Dude, as they do, we all know kids suck.
And so he beats the shit out of Shinji. And the next day, another angel attacks, the beetle snake one. And Shinji's had a little bit of practice, but the Eva's power source gets disconnected and shit starts to go south. But he gets knocked on his ass and he sees his buddies. He sees Toji and Kensuke. Kensuke's the glasses dude, because they snuck out even though they evacuated, but they're like, ooh, let's go check out the fighting. And so Shinji's like, fucking get in the robot. And they beat the angel. Yay. And Nerve takes a sample of this angel and is like, all right, well, we need time to process this now. So then we have the cube where Unit 0 is sent along with Shinji. And this is where we meet Rei. More on Rei later. So the angel, this one drills down and nearly pokes through to Nerve headquarters. But
it's kind of cool that they had the base underground.
Yeah, I mean, where else are you gonna put it? I guess right
above ground. I don't know.
No, but
I mean, but that's where angels live.
That's true.
Yeah, but that's where the sun is, dude. I need my vitamin D. I don't know about you.
Right?
Yeah.
So, yeah. Now there is another Eva. It's Unit 02, and they're transporting it overseas. I think they were in the Atlantic. Not the Atlantic. They were in the Pacific. But I don't know which way they were going. And for some reason, there was a city underwater under them. I was really confused at where they were in the Pacific Ocean.
I assume it was like a shipwreck or something. I don't know.
Anyway.
Some ruins of some kinds.
An angel attacks.
Well, it was also because since Antarctica was fully melted, the sea level rised. So that might be what explains that.
Maybe they were just floating on California. But Nevada's still around, so...
That's true.
North
Dakota? No, it wasn't North Dakota, right?
No.
It was Nevada.
No, there was a Nerve headquarters in Nevada and Massachusetts.
Why do I...
Which I would think Massachusetts would be underwater too, but I digress.
I mean, Massachusetts isn't like completely flat on sea level. I don't know.
Well,
It's
geographically
I just mean
speaking,
'cause it's-
let me actually go to.
dumb. The show's dumb.
Anyway, an angel attacks while they're transporting Unit 2, and this is where we meet Asuka. And she's got quite the personality, and this is a personality that you could tell Gynax and later Trigger really like. See Darling in the Franxx. Anyway, we also meet Kaji at this point, who had a thing with Misato, and more on that later. So they weren't prepared for an underwater battle, which, I don't know, they're transporting something overseas. Why would they? And they managed to beat it with significant damage to, I think it was mostly Japan's navy.
Not
but-
the Navy.
No, that was all UN Navy.
Yeah, that was the UN.
I know it was part of the UN, but
No, it was
anyway.
all UN.
I watched
Navy
the
stuff.
recap episode again, and it mentioned like, oh, but it was the UN's, but also Japan owned them. It was confusing. Anyway,
No, I don't know. Those were all American ships.
fuck yeah. But-
I knew those were all American ships, so I'm just like.
But- Yeah. They beat because Misato was quick to think on her feet and was like, let's just shove 2 ships down its gullet and blow them up. And it works.
Yeah.
And while that's
just
happening,
works.
Nerve, or maybe Seal, I don't really know, obtains Adam, who is, they call him the first human, but then they're also
they-
later on like, yeah, that's the first angel.
Yeah, I don't ever remember them saying first.
Well, because
human.
angels are
So-
humans and humans are angels.
I'm so confused.
This show's bad. guys.
Please email us. Please, someone explain.
I don't. I,
We'll
want to
read-
be ignorant.
We'll
I don't
read the
wanna know
full
anything.
email.
I don't want to know nothing.
But yeah, there's also in this universe. Well, I guess in real life we did also find more the Dead Sea Scrolls. We did find some more of those, but in the
They
universe
found
show.
more?
Well,
No,
not in a
I'm
long time.
memeing.
Yeah, yeah. So
just wanted to make sure everybody didn't think I wasn't paying attention. I'm memeing. Okay.
yeah, there's this crazy thing. They found some more. There was this thing about
They're the Deader
a
Scrolls.
seven-eyed angel, and something about
Guys, there are several scrolls.
something about evangelicals. Anyway, so Commander Ikari is like, "Yep, everything's going according to the scrolls," and it's like, that's really ominous. Okay,
Everything's according to Kekaku, dude.
and then we get another angel attack.
Kikaku means plan.
Thank you.
And this one,
I forgot this isn't a video. This is not a visual podcast. I needed somebody to be my
I
caption.
know. I can't put the caption because people listening to it won't be able to see it.
it's okay. I've been
I
doing
love
all
it.
sorts of hand gestures. It never translates, never leaves
This
this
shows-
room.
It's true.
But yeah, we get another angel attack. This is the 7th one. And this is the first one where Asuka and Ikari or Shinji fight together. And Asuka's like, ha, watch this. And she splits it in half. And the angel's like, nah, bitch. And just is like, nope, I'm 2 now. And they get their asses beat. So they have to play Dance Dance Revolution together.
They do, and it's cool.
It is pretty cool. And then eventually, obviously, they beat the angel.
Yeah.
The next one is immature, and it's deep in lava in a crater somewhere. And so they throw a bunch of equipment on Unit 2 and are like, all right, well, go fetch it. And they deep fry the Eva
Go do.
and
Crispy.
nearly get their asses beat.
As
Because
they do.
it matures before they were trying to capture it, but it matures, and yeah, Asuka only makes it back because Shinji jumped in at the last second and grabbed her out of there.
It's always this Shinji
So-
guy.
Right.
What a loser, dude.
Shinji.
But they managed to kill it, and Then we get the next attack, the spider one, where they dispatched all 3 of the pilots to attack. And this is the one where they all had to really work together on their own, where no one else made a plan for them, I don't think. And yeah, they had someone up top holding off the goop that it was secreting, that was melting through to Nerve headquarters. And the other 2, because they dropped their guns, they had to go get their guns and stuff. And they're like, all right, grab the guns. All right, fuck them up. America. And yeah, they beat it. And the next one is special. Wait, no, I got ahead. The next one is the one that attacks from the stratosphere. Not from like totally in space. Yeah, this is the one with just the eye and the flappy wings, you know.
Dude, I love flapping.
I flap my. You can't see, but I was flapping my hand wings with 3 fingers out, so you could.
Thank goodness.
I equated that angel to a Terraria, where they had the Eye of Cthulhu just float in the air. That's I don't know why my mind thought of that when you showed up.
Yeah, that's about right.
It wasn't nighttime, so it wasn't the same thing. We should play Terraria.
But yeah, they had. We should.
I don't like Terraria. I tried my best.
All right.
I don't know. It seems just like a very high point of entry.
I mean,
yeah,
kind of. You do start on ground, so I mean, you can only go lower.
I need you to not.
Only place we goes down.
I need you to fly me to the moon.
So I can, sing, or I don't know the lyrics. Something about Jupiter and hot bars.
Let me see what spring is like.
Yeah.
On Jupiter and Mars.
New York, New York.
Yeah.
The next angel attacks, and it disguises itself as like mold or corrosion.
Ew.
And it infiltrates the base, and Misato saves the day and stops it from self-destructing the whole base. And this one gets covered up. All the other angels, Nerve reports, they're like, yeah, that's the one. We fucked him up.
Because is that the one that contaminated the Magi?
Maybe.
Okay.
Oh yeah, we forgot to talk about the Magi. But
guys, this shows.
Dude, the Magi.
We just simply cannot go into the Monster of the Week stuff. It's
dude. I just want to be clear. The Magi is me as a mother, me as a woman, and me as what was that last one?
Scientist.
Me as a gamer. I don't know.
Me as a gamer is pretty funny.
Fuck, you made me lose my spot.
I'm sorry. No, it's me as a memer, me as a gamer, and me as a dreamer. It's a weemer. I forgot about weems.
Guys, what are weems?
Dude, what are weems? Shout outs to our dads, dude.
Shout out to dad.
So yeah, that angel got covered up, and for some reason they're like, let's try switching which kid pilots which Eva. It doesn't go well, and Shinji gets spit out of Unit 0.
And you go...
Yeah, and at this point, Kaji is investigating the cover-up, and he's like, this is fucked up, because he's a double agent. He works for the Japanese government, and he's like, this shit's fucked. Hey, Misato, check out this Adam dude. And they're like,
But it's not Adam, it's fucking Venetary.
That's
or whatever.
right, it's Lilith?
Lilith.
Anyway, they're like, check this shit out. And then another angel attacks. It's the dark blob, and they can't attack it, and it eats Unit 1. And Shinji goes on this whole introspective journey, and he's like, who am I? Am I me?
Not gonna lie, I kind of expected him to be ingested at some point. But that was kind of cool. I don't know. I liked the whole, he was just introspecting, thinking. Because you don't really get to see much of that. Because like we said, it was a lot of just Monsters of the Week for like maybe 12, 13
for
episodes.
Half of it, yeah.
And then they get to the good stuff, And I'm just like, this is what I kind of expected the whole series to be. So
yeah,
I was happy that it was
took a little bit to, it took a little bit for them to get to that point. But now we have a new Eva. Actually, there were 2 new Evas being built at this point. The first one gets fucked. It goes on a rampage, and he was like, went autonomous, and it just kept going, and they had to stop it. And the other new one gets sent to Japan from the Nevada base. I'm sorry if I said that state's name wrong. Anyone from Nevada or Nevada?
Nevada.
I said North
Nevada.
Dakota, so I'm sorry for both of you guys. Anybody who lives in Nevada and North Dakota.
At least we got
Who lives
Massachusetts right.
Yeah.
Anyway,
Or how my mom says it, Machachuche.
That's pretty good.
Yeah, it's really fun. I like saying it myself, and then
America, explain. Why is this one Kansas and this one Arkansas?
please.
It's Arkansas.
Tetanus. No, tetanus.
You have tetanus? Oh, no.
Anyway.
It's all right. I've already been canceled. I'm okay.
So while this unit was being transported to Japan, it was infected by a microscopic angel, and it goes rogue. And so Unit 1 has to destroy it. And at this point, Shinji doesn't know who's inside. Everyone else knows that it is Toji, the guy who beat him up earlier, but they became friends later on. And he's like, I know someone's in there, and Commander Ikari is like, no, it's just an angel. Just take it out. Don't worry about it.
Chuck, remind me something, Chuck, real quick. What is the thing we both hate other than amnesia? It's I think it's when people don't communicate. I think, right? Like
maybe I don't know.
it's one of those things, right? Because I feel like maybe things could have gone a little smoother. I mean,
I feel like if they just talk.
I know. I mean, there was a chance when they could. I mean, I feel like just
who knows?
I mean,
truly,
that is the essence of the show. I mean,
that's how I felt watching this entire fucking show. Gonna be honest.
I need them to communicate.
Didn't enjoy it that much.
So
I think that was the most egregious one. I'm just like, one, he's your friend. Firstly, your friend should have told you, not just be bummed out and not show up for class. Two, your guardian should have told you, had the perfect moment to tell him, and then he just doesn't do it. And then no one else is like, it's not my responsibility. Because it's true, it's not Asuka's responsibility to tell someone else that, oh yeah, he's an Ava pilot. Just, somebody just say something. This boy Shinji's just been suffering this entire time.
Yeah. And now he nearly killed his friend.
Yeah.
He lives.
I'm surprised he didn't die.
Yeah, right. And what happened there is that Shinji still refused. And so Commander Ikari took control and was like, all right, dummy plug.
You've lost all robot privileges.
Shinji, it is no longer your birthday. No. So Shinji's like, nope, I'm not. Nope, never piloting an Eva again. I'm done. Mm-mm.
And then he pilots an Eva again.
After
another angel attacks.
Notebook.
Yeah. Another angel attacks. He's like, I'm getting the fucking robot. And this time, he gets his ass whooped real hard. And this is where Shinji and the Evangelion achieve 400% synchronization. And they win, but this is where some wacky shit starts to happen. So at some point, he turns into quantum soup inside the Eva.
Oh, yes.
And as the Eva heals itself, it takes on Shinji's features. And it starts to have a human arm on it. You can see Shinji's face.
Is it teeth?
At the end. Yeah, but it still has one of the Eva eyes.
Yeah.
Which is, I actually really like that imagery.
It was really cool. I felt very uncomfortable. And I'm glad that I felt uncomfortable. That's what I was waiting for.
Yeah. And so while he's soup, he's like, who's it smell like? It smells like
is that blood?
Ray.
Oh.
He's like, is that Ray? Oh yeah, well the blood thing happened when he was in the goopy earlier. And he's like, is that Ray? He's like, no, that's not Ray. That's my mom. And he makes contact with his mom's soul. Because his mom's dead, by the way.
Yeah.
Forgot to mention that. His mom is dead.
His mom died from a freak accident.
More on that later. So, yeah. Apparently this whole soup thing has happened before, and they were not able to retrieve the pilot, but
last time.
He's got plot armor, so he's recovered from the Eva. And
I don't know why soup gives people so much trouble. Soup is great.
Right?
Especially on a nice
Just
cold
learn the
day.
alphabet.
Yeah, exactly.
Idiot.
Maybe it was tomato soup. I don't know. Not sure why I singled out tomato soup, but
Just needed grilled cheese with it.
I never had tomato soup. Maybe I'm just coping.
Tomato soup's good.
Really?
Yeah, I'm coping. I've never had it.
It's pretty good. It's good with grilled cheese. That's why I brought up grilled cheese.
Okay, I've seen that in the medias, and it makes me.
It is good.
Makes me feel like I'm not living my life correctly.
I can confirm. Yeah, tomato soup is one of the lovely tangent about soup right now. Tomato soup is one of those things that sounds on paper really gross, but it's kind of delicious, and I love it.
So good.
That's why I've been so curious about it. Like, again, it's been like 26 years of my life, and I'm just like, maybe I want to try tomato soup. I don't know.
Pino, if you come visit, I can make you a banging tomato soup and grilled cheese.
I would cry. I would love that. I'd cry though because no one's ever made soup. Well, that's a lie. I'll take you
You
up
can
on
pretend
that.
you're eating Shinji.
I don't want any more tomato soup. No, please, no, please. Get me out of the back.
So, yeah, Kaji digs too deep, and he commits suicide and leaves a voicemail with Misato.
Really? He commits
He's like,
suicide?
okay.
I thought he got shot.
No, I thought I got shot.
I thought that he committed suicide.
From
he
what
may
I
have gotten
understood,
shot.
And it might have been me
think he got
watching for
shot.
several hours on end.
To the wiki.
What I understood was, I think Misato gets a gun and a card, and then it flashes to that scene. It's like, oh, hey, you're here. And then I just hear a gunshot, and I'm just like, oh, yeah, somebody killed him, and I think it was Misato.
Fuck, maybe it was.
No, he was killed. He was killed by someone else that we don't know yet.
Oh.
We'll learn about him later.
Okay, no more looking at the wiki. Close the tab.
No.
Okay.
But he was killed.
Yeah.
He did not. I was like, he killed him? I don't
Okay.
think
Yeah, no, that's
so.
what I
I
thought.
was like,
Okay, well, see, this is
like,
why
I
I
don't
was
think
like,
that's
fucking
I just
correct
assumed it
us
was
here.
yeah, he was
Katsuragi.
shot. No.
Wild.
Didn't believe
Okay,
that.
but
Crazy.
yeah, he gets shot, but he left a voicemail with Misato with some of the details.
And also to take care of his plant.
Yes, also to water the flower that we never see.
Watermelon.
Oh yeah, the melons.
Watermelon.
melons. And while that's happening, the
Dude, you want
second in
some tea?
command. I go for some tea. Anyway, the second in command of Nerve, Commander
Cry now.
Fuyutsuki, he gets kidnapped and is interrogated by Seal. I'm not sure where the split between Nerve and Seal is. So Seal is like the committee.
Steel is like above everything. It's like the shadow.
Think of him like the Patriots garb.
Okay.
It's Patriots from Metal Gear.
Sorry. Lolly Lulelo.
Anyway.
They're like a shadow operation doing
Okay.
it behind the scenes of Nerve.
Okay. I got close to putting that together, but I was always like, what the fuck?
That's for you One Piece buffs. Think of the Gorosei, the 5 Elder Stars.
Dude, it's true.
Include everyone. There we go.
All my homies love the Gorosei.
Dude, all my homies love the Gorosei. All my homies love Goose.
While he's getting honk.
Honk.
So while he's getting interrogated by Seal, this is kind of where they reveal to the viewer some of the truth of the second impact, where one's demise is always one's own making, and it turns out it was humans that did that to themselves. And we also see the backstory of Rei, Misato, and Ritsuko, the blonde scientist who I don't think we really talked about.
Yeah, she was there and then was important later on again, and I was like, man.
Yeah. Her mom made the Magi.
Magi.
And she planted her conscious into it, but like 3 instances.
As
anyway,
you do. Yeah, again, as a dreamer, Weimer, and a...
Yeah.
What was that last one?
And we never...
Pino.
we never quite got... I don't think they ever really explained what the Evas are. We kind of...
No,
they give us enough info to where you can piece it together, but they never explicitly...
Yeah, it's like, are they like...
I mean, they
like
bleed, so obviously it's...
They're built off of angels, and angels are like beings. They're not explicitly just like robots or whatever, you know?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
It seems to have a conscience of some kind.
Yeah.
And you're
It
just
has a
like,
soul of some kind, because they talk
It's
about
Metal
the soul.
Gear.
Yeah.
Yeah, but it
Eva's
doesn't have
the
a
DNA
soul
of
of
the
its
soul.
own. The soul
Yeah.
gets transplanted into it. And
I don't know how you transplant a soul.
Yeah, that's also another thing. It's like, they can just
Carefully.
do that?
Was
But
it the
more
orange
on that
juice?
later. Yeah. So while that's happening, we get another angel fight where Asuka gets her ass beat and she can't really keep her sync rate up after this point.
Yeah,
she gets traumatized.
Feels bad.
Yeah, and then another angel attacks, which directly deals psychic damage to both Asuka and the viewer. And
My right eye is
Rei
still
has to...
just not right.
I'm cross-eyed. So then Rei has to retrieve the spear of Longinus,
Dude.
which
oh my fucking god!
Which
this
that
is
it's
one
like
okay. This is one of the many things that they don't explain at all, and they just tell you.
I assume it's going to
like,
be important in the movies.
No, but they're still like, oh, this thing, we're gonna mention it twice. We're gonna mention it early on, not explain it. Now we're gonna talk about it when we're using it. Now we're gonna throw it into space, so it doesn't matter anymore.
Probably.
It's so dumb. It's so dumb. The show does it all the fucking time.
The spear of laryngitis.
They literally say like words with no meaning to the average viewer. And they're like, "Oh, like the sync rate is up." They never tell us what a sync rate actually is. They go over like, "Oh, it's the fucking the GABA connection."
The gabagook.
It's like the nerve connections, like we don't know what those even do. Like we don't know what changes. It's just so so what I equate this to is that the creator was too deep into this like world and story that his brain was like, oh, this all makes sense in the world. And so he's just like, why would I need to explain it? It makes sense to me. So we don't know anything. They're like, oh, the second impact. Okay, well, this thing happened then. And then they're like, but anyway, later, it's fine because we have the spear of Icarus poking the large man. And we're like, what does this do to the large man? It doesn't explain it to us at all.
Yeah.
And so I get pissed off because I'm like, I'm trying to get into the story, but when you just throw out buzzwords to me and not explain anything, how am I supposed to be engaged when you mention it like 3 times? When like you do steel and you mention steel maybe 6 times throughout the whole show, and you show them as these obelisks, and you're like, that's it? And they're like, this is steel. Anyway, we're not going to show them again. What?
You figure that shit out on your own.
But, like, that tells me that it's a bad show. If you can't explain to me the intricacies of your world in your show, that's bad storytelling. If I'm confused by the things you are telling me, that's not my fault. I had been paying attention the whole goddamn time. And when I watch it and they just tell me things and I'm just like, that means nothing.
Yeah, because
those are words
if
that
I
you
get
were saying.
Confused, that's expected. But if Chuck is confused, somebody fucked up.
It's kind of like sensory overload for me personally.
Yeah. Like the thing is, like, I'm trying to get engaged. Like, truly, I did my hardest watching this. I'm like,
you're sitting there like Commander Ikari with your hands.
Yeah, I have my head in my hands, and I'm just like trying to think and like take in all this information, but they don't like tell you enough that like it informs you at all. It's simply just dumb, and they don't tell you anything. So then whenever, for example, I ask someone, I'm like, what is this? And then if you fucking tell me to watch the movies, I simply do not care. Because if a show cannot explain within its own body what these concepts are, like, and I know I'm going to get a message or something that are going to be like, well, that's the point. That's the point. It's supposed to be mysterious. It's supposed to be like in the dark to you. But like when how am I supposed to follow this show?
But
How? How am I supposed to follow this show if you give me 7 different types of readings on how the people in the Evas themselves, how they are linking, and you tell me 5 different statistics and they don't mean anything to me. Like, you know, I get it when you say, oh, sync level is down by 5%, down by 6, down by 7.2. And like it continues going down. Like, I get it.
Scouters say?
I can glean from that. But when you mention it twice and never again, why do you tell me at all? For what reason are you telling the viewer that this thing exists, but then you don't have the fucking common courtesy to tell us what it is? I'm not going to go to a fucking wiki or watch 5-6 more movies just to understand what one small piece of throwaway dialogue is. That is solely on the not the creators, but like the show's fault. If you cannot introduce me to this information and, like, you know, maybe if at the end of the series they did like a big cliffhanger, it's like, oh, the sync level in Shinji is now syncing with all 3 Evas, and then they cut. I'm not going to complain because I'm like, okay, maybe they're going to explain this later. But like, they don't do that. They make it seem like at the end of the show, which we haven't talked about yet because I'm pissed off.
Congratulations.
Congratulations. And they're like, you finished watching it. We wrapped everything up in a little bow for you. And I'm like, you didn't. You clearly didn't.
I will admit, I do like the last 2 episodes.
I hate the last 2 episodes.
I don't understand how I got to the last 2 episodes. Again, maybe it's because I was watching it for maybe like 6 hours within a day. But I was like, wasn't something else happening before we got like the intervention?
I think I can. Well, Garb, if you want to continue doing the actual fucking
we're almost there.
Rest, and then I can talk about things that I think I know and from what Joan has told me and introduced me to.
But again, like if I can throw in my 3 cents, because I'm the third one here. I like sensory overload. I completely understand your feelings with how this show is formatted, and again, we get little to nothing at the beginning, and then we're just thrown so many things. Maybe like a little bit after Asuka joins, and it's a bit jarring at that point because I'm just like, I really could have used maybe some of this information, like maybe drip fed to me a little earlier, or at least more fed to me at that point.
Yeah.
And that would have maybe caught my attention or hooked me at a much earlier rate than the show unfortunately did, maybe around 17, 18 episodes in.
Because they only drop the hints. They don't explain anything at those points.
And again, like, we've seen some shows where, like, oh, we have a big mystery on our hands, or like there's like something to like investigate. But at least I think in those shows we've had more, I don't know, more things to grasp onto, more things that actually make sense, and not just a hodgepodge of like, oh yeah, don't forget what this is. Also, don't forget that's the 5th child. Also, again, we have this this liquid thing here. I'm just like, God, like, I need to slow down.
One thing that I specifically think of whenever, like, this show specifically like kicks into gear, like the last, like, quarter of the show, I'd say, last third maybe, depending on where it engages you the most. But like, I felt the same way about Vinland Saga. Vinland Saga for me did not grab me until episode 18, but Vinland Saga found a way to grab me by the nuts and pull me through and keep me engaged the entire time.
After that
And
point.
like, more so, I just want to say that it's not a negative thing to have a show that doesn't fully engage you till like the last quarter or the last third, because there can still be phenomenal shows that have to do a lot of groundwork setting.
Absolutely.
And I feel like Eva wanted to be that, but they didn't set the groundwork. They wasted their time on Monster of the Week Angels that didn't explain anything. And then when they had off time, they didn't do anything productive with that time. And this is not me saying that the school stuff is bad, because I feel like the school stuff did more for like character development and more for the, like, especially Shinji, like trying to actually grow. That's the only time that Shinji grows, by the way, is when he's interacting with his classmates. And every other time he's the same little bitch boy in the mech. Like they just don't ever allocate time to explain. And so when I'm confused, I'm like, wow, I wish I knew this. I wish I had some feasible understanding of this concept, but you've only mentioned it about 8 times in the entire show, and it's some pivotal plot point that you barely mention.
Mm-hmm. I think while watching the show, at least for me, since everything started getting too technical on the lore side and like the kind of setting of the world and like the Evas and whatnot, I kind of just drifted more towards the characters to try and fill the void of, oh yeah, I just need maybe something that I can easily understand. So that's kind of where my mindset went to after I was just like, okay, AT fields I get, and then it's all this just mess and jumbled things. Let me just focus on the characters. Maybe I can enjoy the series at a different angle rather
My
than
brain
all that.
started to feel like how Asuka's did when they showed the line graph, and it was just like scribbly all over the place.
Ooh.
That's what this show sometimes felt like.
He's desyncing.
I'm desyncing from this fucking show. Jesus.
So if we got anything else to throw out there before we wrap up this
No.
plot?
Those are our feelings in the middle of the plot.
Yeah. So please wrap up this plot, because I have another long tirade to go on.
I had a feeling. So yeah, they throw out the spear and they chuck it at the angel. Angel gets blowed up and they lose the spear in the moon's orbit. Another angel attacks, and this one grabs onto Unit 0 in the pilot and kind of like slurps inside of it.
Yeah.
And
Starts contaminating
Rey
the,
is like, yeah. And so it contaminates Rey in like her body. And it starts to attack Shinji as well. She slurps it in like spaghetti. And
then it blows up.
Kind of gross. Yeah, then self-destructs. But Rey's okay. And she recovers. But, you know, there's a little bit of downtime where she still has to recover. So Misato is like, all right, Ritsuko, show me what the fuck is going on. And holds her at gunpoint. She's like, you're taking me and Shinji? You're taking us to figure this shit out. All right. And so that's what they go do. And this is where we get explanation of one thing, which of all the things to explain, this is one of the ones that's more explicitly defined already. Well, the fact that there's multiple bodies for Reys, they had already hinted at that enough for the viewer to be able to piece that together. Stop posting funny fucking gifs. But yeah,
I'm gonna be real. I got a little upset that she's a clone, technically, or just
I
just a shell.
thought that was cool.
At it. They
did
hinted
hint at
at
it. I think it's
No,
cool,
I think
but
it's great.
wish
I
that
was
they
just
did.
I was just upset. I'm just like,
I just
it's
wish
scary.
they did more. I wish they did more with the concept.
And there seems to have been something more about like the dummy plug, and also like I don't understand how that all meshes together. That kind of my brain did the squiggly lines. Yeah. So the cloning part I understand, and like the vessel part I understand that. And I don't. So apparently, Rey's soul was like manufactured. They didn't like. I figured that it would have been Yui, which is Shinji's mom. I figured it just would have been her soul. Just after she dies, slurp it up and then plop it in another vessel. but I guess that's
It might not be the case. I feel like it's opposite. I think the body itself is based off of maybe cells or DNA of Yui,
Yes.
and then they somehow
and
got the soul.
Yes.
Yeah, and that actually is what happens. It just I thought that it was going to be the other way around. I was like, what? But why? Okay.
No, I just know because a soul can't be cut. Thank you.
You're right about that. If there's one thing I know for sure, there will be blood.
There is shed.
Anyway. So, yeah, we see a soup of rays, and Ritsuko is like, I'm gonna melt them, and she pushes the button.
I don't care if I broke your elbow.
And then kills them all.
Everything kind of
But is it truly
deconstructs at this
killing?
point. Everybody's just like throwing their cards on the
Yep.
table. Ritsuko's like, I'm a terrible person. You're a terrible person. Shinji's a terrible.
Yeah.
She just goes on a rampage.
Yeah. This is where where it ramps up. Yeah, and starts to get really wild, and then there's a new pilot, Kaworu Nagisa, because Asuka is out right now, and yeah, turns out he's an angel, and for some reason, him and Shinji can't simultaneously exist in this world. So they have a staring contest, and then Shinji crushes him.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
That was so cool. I'm not gonna lie. They got the effect just right because I was waiting for like his head to pop off, and it scared me. and in the Patreon chat, I literally said, "Oh, I jumped. Oh shoot, this is that's the part that got me by the balls," like Chuck said. I was like, "Oh shoot, it's
Yeah.
happening, dude."
I mean, man, I just wish they did more with him.
yeah, he was really just there for not even
For
a
an
whole
episode, literally
Yeah.
one episode. Yeah. Well, I'm pretty sure they do stuff with him in the rebuild movies. I think I don't know about the end of Eva,
Okay, well,
but you know, I fucking once again, it's just rewriting fucking all their mistakes. So, fuck that.
yeah. So shit starts to get really wild at this point. So Shinji builds a new reality. He's like, no, I'm walling myself off. It's just me, no one else. And so they're just in the ether now. And they have all these conversations, all these philosophical talks. We get a really cool change in art style here where to
that was
really
fun.
show. Yeah, I really like that. And you could see inspiration for that inspiration from this was taken by Gurren Lagann later on, where they do the really rough lines, which I think we talked about then. Love that. Really cool.
Looks cool as hell.
And,
Yeah.
Yeah, I really like the watercolor art that they did here, and I'm guessing that was real watercolor, which that is fucking cool.
Yeah.
Most likely. Yeah.
Awesome.
But yeah, and the show briefly turns into a slice of life, which I really enjoyed.
Well, it's
I thought that
okay.
was funny.
So, yeah, I'll talk about that. in a
I
minute.
hate
You
slice of
finish
life.
up.
0 out of 10, baby. Get it out of here. Get it. I hate the whole journey. I'm kidding. That was kind of a trippy.
And that's
a
what
little bit.
Shinji thought too. And he was like, "No, all right, well,
This is cringe. I hate
now
this.
it's congratulations,
Dude.
Yeah.
congratulations.
Oh, okay.
We don't explain anything. Congratulations."
I think the explanation is kind of implied. If I can interject.
Well, you can try to explain it, then I know the actual explanation.
Got you. So when I
Okay.
was watching, when I sat through those 2 episodes, now that Garb cleared it up that he just kind of walled himself off, obviously he was building a new reality. What I assumed happened is since he built a new reality, he probably went insane, maybe got into like a bit of a funk, maybe a coma or something. And he's just like trying to process like his entire life. Like, hey, you know, I don't like what's happening. At the same time, I think everyone else is kind of like in a weird state where they're just like, oh, I see you, I see me. But this is mostly just about Shinji. But I guess he's trying to grow as a person. Like this is kind of his metamorphosis into something else. Because at the end of it, it was all about perspective. It was like you can change the way people see, you can change the way you see yourself, and in turn, you know, with that mindset, you can change how others will see you in the future.
Yeah.
Which I thought was a cool message. Probably not the best place to put the message. My opinions, of course. And that's why they kind of led to all that congratulations and the slice of life stuff. But I truly don't think that's the end, obviously, because we got more movies. But I think it was a way for the show to try and tie up loose ends in a make you think kind of way, which might have worked for some, might not have worked. I personally think it could have used something else, maybe a little more time. But bottom line is, I don't think this is I think we're seeing something that's not actually happening.
Do you want me to explain what it is?
Go for it.
Sure. Is it the thought elevator?
So this is so dumb. So this is both from what I know from the wiki that I'm reading this off of, as well as my partner Joan. They've watched this before and they've like kind of know what the lore is, but also the lore is stupid
as
fuck.
much as you can understand this shit, I guess. Yeah.
So you probably heard in the show about the Human Instrumentality Project.
Oh yeah, I thought they were talking about like trumpets.
That is, well, so that is Seal's secret goal.
Isn't that to make like everybody one? Is that what the thing is?
Well, yes. So it's to bring about the third impact, under their own control. Mm-hmm. So, through like the forced evolution of humanity. Mm-hmm. But so, basically what would happen is that as a result of the third impact, all of the souls, which is... what is even Lilin? What is this? Okay. Yeah, it's using a bunch of like Latin terms on here, and it's dumb. So basically, all human souls will be gathered into Lilith's egg.
Okay.
Which we don't know what that
sounds
is
like
yet.
Sounds like Lilith is gonna have a baby shower.
Well, basically, they're all being gathered into one place and being united as one like being, basically.
Okay.
And so this creates this kind of crazy existence where no one is like singular. They are all coagulated into this one like being. And this like, and basically an instrumentality, I'm reading this directly off the wiki now, the flaws in every living being would be complemented by the strengths in others, thus erasing the insecurities in people's hearts. So, whenever you see these characters in the last two episodes, this is, from what I know, please tell me if I'm wrong, internet, but from what I know, this is after the third impact. This is all happening within this one being of instrumentality. So all of these events of them going through their traumas and trying to like process it and whatever, that is all happening in this one coagulated being. And that is the only reason why they can come to terms with it. Not because they came to terms with it on their own. It's because they are forced to through others. But not even like through like actual growth. Like this is why Shinji is like, I deserve to be loved. And that's why everyone congratulates him at the end. Because they
basically bullied him into making him say that. Then.
Yes, it is so stupid.
Interesting.
I fucking hate it. And this is supposed to be Seal's plan, but then also apparently it's like supposed to be like Gendo's plans to reunite with Yui, his wife, and like people like speculate like, oh, Gendo's the one who actually controls like this instrumentality. And
well, he's got like, Adam, so I can kind of
but then they're also like, oh, but then apparently according to the Neon Genesis Evangelion 2 game for the PS2, the plans culminates with all the souls merging in Unit 01. So like we don't even know if this is real. Like,
are the games canon?
And this is what yes.
Wow.
Ladies and gentlemen, you can't make this shit up.
Oh wow.
And this is why I hate it. This like shows exactly why I hate Eva on like a fundamental level, because they're like, oh, like think about it for yourself. How the fuck am I supposed to think about this?
How am I supposed to figure this out?
How am I supposed to figure this out? And then when you ask people about it, they're like, oh, why don't you get it? Why isn't this like just like not like normal? And once again, it's people who are too familiar with the material that they're like, oh, this makes total sense. So when someone new, especially us, which puts us in a really bizarre position, like we talked about earlier, that none of us had seen this before.
So we're all just confused.
We're all just fucking out of our minds trying to learn what this is. And when I have to consult A, my partner, and B, a wiki to get 10% of the information required to know what this is, there's something wrong with your show.
Wait, I think that's just it. We're filling in the holes of our knowledge and our insecurities
In the
with
void.
articles, ourselves, our significant others, so we can understand the full picture of this show.
Pino?
You're getting somewhere. Or
Pino,
are you?
do you think that truly, or are you doing that to push my buttons?
Have you ever seen The Lord of the Rings, and there's that one scene with the
Yes.
guy looks at the camera and he says, "No," and then turns
I'm
around.
Lord of the Rings.
That's me right now.
It pushes all the wrong buttons on me.
I'm trying to be as flexible as I can to try and
No,
I'm playing devil's
I
advocate. I like
understand.
playing devil's advocate. It's fun.
I know you like to do that.
I just like to play the devil.
Yeah. it just simply makes it not a good piece of media, like story wise. There's still redeeming qualities, and believe me, I'm not saying that this is an irredeemable piece of trash. Believe me, I would have loved that. I would have loved to rip this thing limb from limb, but there are still really interesting parts of this, and the thing that pisses me off the most is that there's so much promise, because there's clearly so much thought put into this. There's clearly like philosophy, like, because instrumentality is from Corwainer Smith's sci-fi novel, Instrumentality of Mankind.
Oh.
And like there's literally like so much like research and like inspiration drawn from so many different sources that like clearly there's like things to learn and things to figure out. But if I cannot even like figure out how the show ended from your show, like,
Congratulations.
Congratulations.
True. That's all I have to say.
Dude,
That's
this is
just
this is your perception.
congratulations.
That's-
I
your
want to
reality.
perceive this show out of my fucking mind. Like, I don't want to perceive this show ever again.
Congratulations.
Oh, but this is just the beginning, my
I
friend.
know.
I'm gonna be
and
the
I
one to say it
but,
since
like,
I've what? How long have we been recording? Like an hour?
This is two
far
hours.
longer,
2 hours?
my
That's
friend.
that's
Yeah.
much longer than I thought we were recording. I'm gonna be the
Yes.
one to say it. It's kind of like your Eureka 7, dude. It's got the
It's a little bit.
it's got the
It
whole
is a
like
little
I want like these beings want to be one, and I'm just like,
But also, I feel like Eureka 7 isn't as ambitious.
I don't think it's as egregious
with-
now that I think about it.
Yeah, and it's not that egregious. Like there is definitely some confusion. Like, spoilers, by the way, for Eureka 7, which I firmly think, and spoilers, it's better than Eva. That Eureka's kind of like the alien goo, and like we don't know what she is really. Like, we know a little bit, and also I haven't seen it in like several months.
Yeah.
So a lot of that information has flown out of my skull at this point. But I don't know, man. There's just it's not as like intense, and it actually explains some things. like,
Despite me not liking the length of Eureka 7,
well,
they take
yeah,
the time
that's definitely an issue
to
with
kind of
it.
let
Yeah.
it mellow in, which is
And
which
believe
is
me,
killing me on the
it's-
inside because I don't don't like the length it took.
I mean, truly, Eureka 7 could have been cut down about 10 episodes,
Yeah.
and it would have been fine.
Exactly.
Like, and like, I know that we were just talking about you're not explaining it for Eva, but then Eureka 7, they could have cut it down. It's the two completely like ends, which is great that we actually have this comparison.
Yeah.
They're the two ends of sharing information and like giving information to the viewer.
Yeah.
Because on one hand, Eureka 7 has quite a lot of information throughout, which may or may not be pertinent to the story at all, and maybe doesn't involve the characters or develop them enough. And then we have Eva, which has so much information So many things that they want to tell you, and they don't explain any of it. And
something I will say about Evangelion, that is probably maybe I think it's something I realized at the end, with the whole like intervention thing and like throwing all the like lore and the explanation aside, I do like. Well, I personally I hate it because I don't like seeing people suffer, but I do like the fact that each of the characters or the pilots and even like some of the scientists working on it, they're going through a lot of heavy stuff. Like they're flawed characters. I think to the point like I legit believe like a lot of these could be like if they went to a doctor might be clinically depressed. Like it's scary how I felt at the end of it. I'm like. Originally I was just like these kids just need to grow up. I'm just like, no, these kids are actually like mentally just they're hurt, and I'm just like, this is like once it clicked to me for that, I started thinking the show slightly differently. But like again, you did it at the end of the show or close to the end, and I don't know, it didn't have time for me to like get that impact that I think many people praise this show for, but. It's very strange. It's very strange to me. Like I feel like there's a lot more missing from this. Like this anime. Like this from what we've seen.
It feels like they're taking like these different type of like trauma / like insecurities and like mental like issues to like their extremes. Like Shinji with depression, we have Rei with separation and like sense of self. We have Asuka with like sense of pride and sense of self-worth. But these characters, for me at least, aren't engaging enough to make me care. Shinji has done nothing in the story to really make me want to root for him. There was not a point where I was like, okay, I'm down with this protagonist. And believe me, I would love to. Like even, and this is going to sound crazy, even Osamu from World Trigger, which we just watched, was a more likable and engaging protagonist than Shinji. And, like, just truly. And if you haven't listened to last episode of this podcast, 99, I went on a 15-minute tirade about how I do not like Osamu as a main character, as a protagonist.
Now you get to walk it all back.
No, but I'm not walking it back because Shinji is just worse. Just like none of these characters have like really redeemable qualities to them. And like I feel like
if I could actually stop you right there, I completely 100% agree. Like after this show, I don't think I like any of the characters to that extent. Like, oh, they're my favorite, or like, oh, cool, I'm on this camp or this camp. But I do understand why they are like this. Like, it's, how like Fulikuli was like a coming of age story. Is this also like a kind of a coming of age story? Like, is this safe to assume?
That's what I put together.
Because this is showing us kind of like a raw, kind of just like. Kids just doing things, one, they don't like, two, trying to meet expectations that to them seem like unattainable or unreachable, or just they might even be overshadowed. And at least to that end, firstly, I'm yucking off the fact that she said Osamu's better than Shinji, but now looking at everything here, again, devil's advocate, I think Shinji is not a good protagonist, but I do still think he's a very interesting and maybe with the other things we're going to watch, maybe a better or more well-developed character. I don't know. But I feel like there's a lot of things I feel like we're missing. I still don't like any of these characters, by the way. But at least I still feel for Shinji. Like at least there's some aspects about Shinji where I'm just like, I remember like a point in my life where I felt maybe people just hated me. Like I feared to like let people down. I was just like, man, that kind of was just like it was a bit too real, and I was just like, let me just change my perception and just watch the funny robot show.
Well, like, there are definite things there that, like, I feel like are great things to be talked about, great things to be explored, but I just don't feel like they explored it at all.
I'm not saying it's well
because
done. I'm just saying I see what they're trying to do.
There.
It's there.
Yeah, that's why I'm upset, because it's there.
Mm-hmm.
And I know they like had it in their minds that they wanted to do this, but the execution is so sloppy and like it does not like reach to what they're what like this epic they're trying to tell. Instead it's simply just like kind of fumbling around for a lot of the time, and then patting themselves on the back at the end saying, "Oh, we did it. Like, it's great. We've congratulations. We've done it." Like I kind of love how it ends like that, because it is truly like exactly how I feel that those shows writers and creators were thinking at that point. They're like, "We did it. We just did the best thing. I'm patting myself on the back. I did all this shit." And like, it feels like so self-serving to a point. And like, within the lore, from what I know about the Human Instrumentality Project, like that's kind of what it is too. Like in the show's canon itself, as far as I know, that it's like, "Oh, we did it. We all came together and we did this thing," and you know, it's just I have so many issues with this show.
It's a show, all right. That's all I can really say.
It is
Definitely
This was a show.
It was clearly a show, and hopefully, and I know people are gonna be like, "You should have just watched the movie with this."
We're getting to it.
Yeah.
If they're gonna split it up, so are we.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. If you're going to release a piece of media and then years later release like, "Oh, this is the ending of it," I'm like, well, then why didn't you just put the ending at the end of the show?
Again, various reasons.
Why wasn't
I don't
it
know
there?
why.
What you spent 40 minutes of just characters like reacting and trying to accept their traumas, even though if you've been paying attention to the show, you know what these traumas are. We don't need to see them react to something they said in their past haunting them 5 times in a row. I don't need to see Asuka see herself write her name on the chalkboard 5 times and scream no. I get it after 2.
At least they didn't do it for 8 episodes.
Dude, I feel like Pandora opening her box.
Oh my god, dude.
I don't need to see it twice. I need to see it 8 times.
Oh my
I'm sorry. I had to.
I've been holding that one in for days.
it is.
I'm sorry, man. It was right there. I had to take it.
I know it was. Yeah, I just have a lot of issues, and I feel like this show gets far more praise than it should.
It's okay,
and
Shinji's got a lot of issues.
I can agree with that.
I've got a lot of issues. Don't we all?
I mean, I also just feel like I think there are better shows that cover
these topics.
Depression and things like that, and this shouldn't be the end-all be-all for studying the human psyche in anime form.
Far from it.
Is what I'm saying.
Yeah.
But we got a long way to go.
Yeah.
Hey, man, we made it. Is this the end of the plot already?
Yeah.
Congratulations, dude.
Congratulations.
Guys, 2 hours in. Congratulations.
2.5 hours of recording.
We've
but, you know, we started 2 hours in.
So we're gonna go over the characters.
They all suck. I
all
fucking
suck.
hate them.
Let's go. I mean, we can introduce them, and then we'll say they suck, and then we'll talk more in depth.
It's true. We can. We say their name, give them lip service, and then continue.
Yeah.
Shinji
He
Ikari.
sucks.
I told you he sucks.
Nah, dude. Shinji, he's just really insecure. This boy's like, his father doesn't want him. Feels like no one else wants him, and this man's just alone. I feel kind of bad for him. Other than that, he's kind of bland. He does have his funny moments, but
I want to hug him and then kick him in the shin.
Yeah, in the Shinjis.
I do want to inflict physical harm on Shinji.
No,
I'm gonna be
on,
honest
dude.
with you guys.
He's been through enough.
No, but like the thing that I watched a couple videos on the Eva series because I was curious on how people felt about this. And one of the people that said, just because you have a mental illness of some kind, that doesn't mean that you should just be insufferable all the time. And that's how I really feel about Shinji.
Yeah.
Because, like, whenever people talk about Shinji, it's like, oh, it's because he's depressed. Oh, it's because he has anxiety.
God.
Like, bro, like, fucking all of my friends have anxiety and, like, are depressed half the time. Like, I get it. Believe me. But it's just not, like...
Well, one thing about that, I will
he's
say...
just insufferable.
Is that it does show that acting like that is not good, and that kind of nihilism is not healthy. It's not good.
Yeah.
And I think that is one thing the show did succeed at. Is
very fair.
In a very like scary roundabout way, they did show that that mentality is not good. It's not sustainable.
Yeah.
And they went a very roundabout way of getting there, but I do appreciate that the point was made.
Yeah.
It's
Shinji
rough. I don't know. Like Shinji is a very I can't wait to dissect him more as we watch more of the movies.
Can't wait to cut that boy open.
That's not what I meant. And plus he's already been like primordial soup, so it doesn't really matter. We've already seen the insides.
If you cut him open, would he be goop?
Well, from what the patrons have said, it kind of sounds like he doesn't grow a lot more from here, but we'll see. I'd love to be wrong. I would love to be wrong.
God, believe me. If I come back in 2 weeks praising the ever-loving shit out of Eva, I will be so happy. I will be...
Redemption arc.
I will literally take back everything I say in this episode if...
We want that to happen. I want to stress that enough. That we want that to happen.
And another reason why we have it in 3 parts is to get the raw reactions of each of these things.
Yeah.
Which is nice. I like when we're angry.
Yeah. I've been angry the last couple episodes.
It's for a reason, at least. And,
it's true.
And with this, I feel like this is a whole other beast that we're tackling here.
Yeah. Man.
Next character?
Yeah, next character.
Let's talk about Misato.
Katsuragi.
Misato.
I want to give her a big old hug and then also kick her in the shins.
I do. Like, the thing is with her, is that she, like, from the media that I've seen, everyone's like, oh, mommy Misato. Oh, Misato, you're the best. And I'm like, she really didn't do that much. Like, she obviously was the major / commander.
She got a promotion.
Yeah.
She did get a promotion.
Takes care of Shinji.
She
took care of all those fucking kids.
Once again, every character has their own trauma. I understand that, guys. I understand that Misato has struggles with both expressing herself in a loving way as well as just kind of like her trauma with her parents and her life. And like, I feel like Misato, if anything, is a better example.
Oh yeah.
Of like that trauma. I feel like she was better explored more.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Than Shinji. But still, like, there's things that I like want to see more out of her. And I can't really say, like, I can't put my finger on what that would be exactly.
I mean, her position kind of makes it hard in a sense, because she's not physically in the Avas. She's in the director's chair in a sense. So that's why she had all these weird side things that she had to do. And it's, I get what you mean. I just don't know. I don't know the remedy for it either.
Well, yeah, that's the thing. It's like, I can't go as hard in on Misato as Shinji, because like we don't get like quite, well, we do get a lot of Misato, honestly.
Yeah.
I don't know, man.
I think she's one of the more explained characters.
Yes.
Fleshed out.
Oh, for sure.
In a sense, I kind of put her as the main protagonist of the show.
Really, I would say, like, if this the show kind of had a reviewing, like it had like it reset its focus a little bit on Misato, I feel like it could have been a more interesting show. But I don't know. You also need that Shinji stuff to really kick the show off. So I don't know. But regardless, stinky.
So who else we got? Rei, Ayanami.
I want to kick her in the shins.
Rei, well, which one?
Yeah, which one?
No, I just want to pat her on the head.
Ray in general, I don't know. Ray was like a piece of white bread. And, like, I understand that was a deliberate choice.
Yeah.
I get it. But also, that doesn't make her enjoyable to watch. You know? Her development of, oh, Shinji made me blush twice. Who am I? I'm like, what is this,
I did like
guys?
the introspection at the end where she was just like, why am I crying to the glasses? Like, I like that whole thing. I was like, okay.
She was the most interesting at the end, I feel. Just based on, like, the entire lore of her as well. Really helped in that regard, so.
I liked her.
She's cool, but I just wish
We had more.
I cared a little more.
Yeah. me throughout this whole fucking show. I wish I just cared a little more.
They did a lot of foreshadowing for all that, which I do appreciate.
Yeah, for sure.
There were lots of little hints dropped around.
Bandages.
Once again, that's how you do it.
Yeah,
you
like
just drop the piece. They know how to do it.
They had the tools.
You had the technology.
We have the technology, but you have to use it. Yeah, so that's Ray. Next up, we got Asuka.
Asuka, she impressed me on her debut episode. I was like, hooray, another tsundere. And then kind of just fell off for me.
Yeah, like, I like Asuka probably best out of the three main kids solely because she actually had a personality.
Yeah.
Like, solely because there are traits that I could give to her.
But it was a false
and, like,
personality,
follow.
don't forget.
But, like, also I like that kind of focus.
Yes. It's
Like,
actually
the false personality, putting on a mask and putting on this kind of persona to, you know, kind of help self-importance and feel self-worth. And even though, like, in the end, I feel like they didn't really develop that much at all. And they tried to do that with giving her a backstory that, like, didn't really work. And they didn't really explain it that well.
I think the backstories for her and Katsuragi, I think those were the more interesting ones. But I think hers is a lot less than.
I think the Katsuragi one is much more interesting than Asuka's. But, like, yeah, I don't know. Like, she's just more engaging, has more of a presence, and, like,
she's memorable.
Is memorable. So, like, at the very least, I can say that, like, I remember her, like, intro, like, the intro of the O2. That's tied for my favorite episode, just because A, it was such a cool fight scene, and B, this, like, kind of, not relationship, but, like, partnership between Asuka had to, like, really kick off, and it's just cool. It was a really cool episode. And then they're like, we're gonna make them bad, though.
Oh, joy.
They focused a lot on the side characters, like the side characters, but we'll get to them when we get to them, I guess.
Well, but they didn't at the same time.
Yeah.
It's true.
We'll go ahead and move on to our next pilot here, Toji Suzuhara.
That's one of the culprits.
Hey, side character.
Yeah.
Welcome to the character that they develop time to, but then they don't develop the character at all.
Like then they just drop him like a rock in the ocean.
First 10 episodes, he was everywhere. He's just hanging out with Shinji, visiting his house, with his buddy, of course, and then kind of just become background characters, and then out the blue, he becomes...
And then they left.
Out the blue, he becomes the fifth child? No, it was the fourth child, right?
Fourth.
And
yeah.
Story-wise, I get it. I'm like, oh, cool, this is going to be like another step, but like, it was, I don't know, I felt like it was an odd choice. Like, I don't know what they're going to do to him after, because he's in the hospital right now.
Well, no, because it felt like a throwaway. It felt like they're like, oh, we already have this character, so, like, let's do it with him. And I do like the part prior to him getting into the Ava, because he was like, oh, like, kind of felt very conflicted about it, and you could see it. And I'm like, okay, maybe we'll get something interesting. And then he just becomes an angel. Shinji's forced to attack it, even though he wasn't attacking it, so I don't know why he's, like, super, like, obviously he'd be upset because you're watching you beat the shit out of something, but, like, he wasn't doing it himself because it was the dummy pot or whatever the fuck it's called. And And then after that happens, in one throwaway line, Shinji's like, Toji's gone. My friends are gone. And like, that's it. Like, they left the area. We didn't get to see a goodbye scene. We didn't get to see anything like that to wrap up any of those characters' stories. And so we just left there with nothing.
It's weird. I do like Toji's character, though.
Yeah, that's the thing.
Toji was interesting.
Yeah, and then they just drop him off. They had a good character, and then they did something with him, and they're like, I'm done playing with this doll.
Oh, wow. That's too real.
To the abyss.
Yeah. And that's what the creator said. He said, I'm done with you. You're done. Goodbye.
So, sucks. And that's not even his fault.
Yeah.
Shinji is just a shithead, but Toji is developed or like has that potential. But I don't know. I have a feeling we're gonna be seeing more of him, though.
God, I hope. I hope they don't just like write him off or anything. That'll be kind of dumb.
Yeah. No, I think we'll see more of him.
Okay.
Yeah, I mean maybe, but also like from what I read of like the movies, like they're half retelling, half like retread. I don't even know what they are. Truly, like that's how much we are in the dark about what these movies are. So like I think there's a bit of retreading and a bit of rewriting, so we will see in the future, I guess.
I would imagine. But in the meantime, let's move on to Ritsuko Akagi. She's pretty badass.
Yeah.
She's been through some shit too. I like her cat. They're black
cat
and
lady.
white cats. I feel like those black and white cats were also like symbolism for something later, or like
Yin and
foreshadowing.
yang.
I don't know if I was.
Yin
I don't know if I was
and
dense or maybe I wasn't paying too much attention. I didn't even know she and Gendo were a thing too.
Gendo? I don't even remember.
The dad.
Ikari.
Yeah.
Oh, but yeah, they like knew each other.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Right.
And then they kind of did it for a little bit, and then she's like,
Yeah,
I
like near
hate
the end of the
this.
episodes, I guess it's implied. I'm just like they were
Well,
an
it's
item.
implied that they
sort of?
were, and then like it was more that like she like kind of wanted
Mhm.
it, but he just didn't really view it as anything.
Right. Kind of like in the same regards as Ritsuko's mom too. Like she was trying to do that
Yes.
too. I was just like, what is happening?
Yeah.
Like
And like I feel like she was the most fleshed out character we got.
Maybe.
Because we got the Magi stuff with her mother. We got more of her mother's backstory. We got the backstory with Misato and Kaiji. Flora, you need to not be climbing on the thing.
I like where
And-
Misato was just straight up called her a crazy cat lady.
Yeah, and like, but like she had interests, she had goals, you could tell, and like her mom got fucking killed.
She has a grandma.
And like we saw the blood and the fucking little like the sketch outline, the police sketch. Like that gave us reasons why the way she is. And I'm not saying that we didn't get it with other characters, but that was the most fleshed out and to me interesting character that they did that with. Cuz she's like her mother worked on this, but then her mother was killed by a ray thing most likely. I don't know what happened.
Metal Gear Ray.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
it's all
It's all
connected.
reference.
But she was just, I feel like she had the most interesting focus and
yeah, I'm sorry.
bless you.
Unprofessional.
And
of
even
me, I'm sorry.
how terrible. And like even her like wasn't fully developed. Even though I say she's like the most developed, she still isn't even that developed.
That's why I
Yeah.
don't know if I like the character or not. Because I don't know if I personally don't feel like I spent enough time with her. But hearing you
I
explain
don't feel
all
we
of
spent
this, I'm
enough
like,
time with anyone.
we spent a lot of time learning about
We
her.
did.
It's so weird. It's very weird.
Yeah.
Well, next, I suppose we have Gendo Ikari.
I could care less about Gendo. I kick him in the shins.
Fuck that
No
guy.
hugs.
Fuck
Yeah,
that
no.
guy.
Just a shin kick. Just a shin kick.
Also, they
Both
don't.
shins, actually.
But also, like, they, like, I wish they did more to show how much of an asshole he was. And, like, how, like, self-serving he was as, like, a character. And, like, through his personality.
I think they did a lot on that front.
Like they kind of did, but like they also
I think they let
didn't.
you read between the lines there.
I read between the lines, and then what I read was give me more, please, so I can actually hate this man more. And they didn't.
I just think, from what I can tell, he just wants to. Is it just me, or is there a lot of shows or series or things that people just want to reunite with their loved ones? Because this is the vibes I'm getting from him. He just wants to. I feel like he wants to like somehow be with his wife again.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's his whole shit.
Well, that's why he's got like a fucking vat of her clones.
It's tiresome. I'm just like, I'm so done with. I hate the dad. Like, I don't even want to see this man's face.
Don't want to see those stupid glasses.
Guy.
Yeah, break the glasses again.
And last, but certainly not least, we have Pen.
Oh, dude, thank you.
Most important character of the show.
Pen!
Man's just chilling.
Poggers. He sits in his little home. That's it.
He's not intrusive. He might be in the.
What was the point of Pen?
I don't remember.
They needed a cute animal to sell plushies of, probably.
All I know is that one of the patrons told me that he gets a mech, and I'm just like, I can't wait to see it.
Spoilers, bro.
No, I'm sorry, dude, but I hear he gets a mech, and if he's lying to me, I'm
okay. Pen's 10 out of 10 in my book if I see it.
Is he 14? How is he supposed to?
What is his trauma?
Mouse. What is this penguin scene?
It's his hair.
Well, he lives with Misato, so
it's true. He's seen shit.
He's got the Redestro hair from My Hero.
Pen's cool.
Mouse's age is 5,
God.
so he still has time to pilot an Eva. That or knowing how this show works, they'll probably just retcon that. Be like, no, anyone can pilot one. It's fine.
Yeah.
Because I had to ask the patrons. I was like, hey, so when they grow up, when they're 15, do they just lose the ability to pilot the Eva?
I just feel like they didn't care enough writing this, and then they go say, it's fine. We do it.
Plot juice.
It's the same image.
It's the same image.
So, any other characters? I kind of just figured.
Kaji, I guess, but I didn't like him.
Someone's gonna get mad at us for skipping Kaji.
Okay, fine. I'll talk about Kaji. I hated him at the beginning because it looked like he was just a pervy old dog, and he is a pervy old dog, but he's a double agent, which is kind of slightly cool. And he takes care of flowers, which is also slightly cool.
But that doesn't.
But it's still,
and his feelings
his for
Misato.
Misato are genuine, at least. So
yeah,
and they were an item together before you know they were an item. It is just really weird.
Yeah, he made me feel uncomfortable.
That doesn't excuse anything.
Yeah,
yeah, I don't like it.
But he knew some shit.
I think that's it, though.
Yeah.
There's probably someone else there, but
if that yawn is any indication,
I don't know the fucking right-hand man, whatever his name was.
I didn't even remember him until I was writing up.
Oh, you mean what's his name? Grand Moff Tarkin from Star Wars.
Yeah, it's Konzu.
He had a cool episode where he just talked.
Yeah, no, it was interesting. Once again, they have like slightly interesting characters that they could have done more with, and they didn't. And I was like, wow, cool.
Oh yeah,
That's it.
Wow, he has the longest mal description I've ever seen.
What?
Really?
Someone gave him like 6 paragraphs.
Oh my god, he did get. Thank you.
I can't read. I saw director's cut. I'm just gonna close the tab.
Free will.
I don't want.
Okay.
Yeah.
Oh my
god.
Yeah.
I went to the link from that, and it pulled up evageeks.org. They're gonna rip this fucking episode apart if they hear about this.
Do it. We still got more to go, so.
Yeah, I mean, it's
tear us to shreds again.
It's what
whenever we watch End of Eva.
We know it to be true. Any attention is good attention, right? Or what is it called? I forget what it's called.
Any publicity.
Yeah.
Bad publicity is still good publicity.
Yeah.
That's probably what you're thinking of.
Probably.
I don't know how true that is,
Yeah.
but I mean, it mostly is. Anyway, tear us to shreds. Send us an email. 3 A-Weebros.
Guys,
I don't even want to
at
make a funny bit for the
gmail.com.
next transition.
No, wait,
Guys,
funkyanimePodcast@gmail.com. Or
Guys,
Yeah, what's up?
contact at funkyanimePodcast.com.
I don't know if you guys know this.
Yeah, what?
But this is our 100th episode of the podcast.
Yeah.
Holy shit.
I think we have kind of like swept over that fact. Like I feel like now
It's
just
really
to think
sunk
about
in.
that, it's crazy. We've watched well, not 100 anime, but 100 like sections of anime. Because we watched Bobobo 3 times and Dragon Ball like 3 times, and
Say what?
we've been doing this a long time. But do you know what we've also been doing for a long time?
Oh,
What's that?
here we go again.
Welcome to the 100th edition of Who's the Best Grill, the part of the podcast where each contestant put forward their choice for Best Grill of the episode and duke it out for the title of Best Grill. Today, our contestants, once again, for the 100th time, are Pino, Garb, myself, and the Patreon. Who are you each advocating for?
Take it away, Pino.
God, I don't even know who to pick, actually.
I'm picking Misato.
Chuck, can you say yours?
What about you,
I
Chuck?
honestly don't know who I'm picking.
I'm picking the angel Lil.
You're picking the crucified man? Okay.
No, I'm picking the sphere one with the shadow.
Oh, with the shadow. Oh my God, I'm.
The 12th angel.
I thought-
this is the first. I'm stumped.
remember-
I'm actually stumped. I don't like.
Anyway, that's why I picked an angel.
Pre-episode, you were thinking about the class rep.
I'm gonna pick the class rep. Oh yeah, you're right. I'm gonna pick the Hokari because the name rhymes. I'll start. The name rhymes. She makes food.
Also, Patreon picked class rep.
Awesome.
Well, so
Then you know what? I'm gonna put effort.
No, you're not.
Hokari. I can't even read. Hikari Horaki. That's a cool name. Shout outs. Her birthday was February the 18th. Missed it by this much. This much is only visible on our Patreon. She cooks real good. She takes care of her family, takes care of Asuka when she was in a funk. And she got freckles, dude. Freckles are life. I think that and you know what? It's a lot of responsibility becoming the class rep. It's hard.
It is.
It is. She can't
I
be
will
beat.
say, I respect the freckle hustle.
Yeah. Absolutely. I'm glad. Or else you would have been wrong.
Yeah, and I don't, she's not fleshed out enough for me to have anything bad to say about her. I guess that's really the only bad thing I could say then.
Yeah.
She doesn't do enough though.
Yeah, neither do the other characters.
She did something.
Yeah,
She was there for
none
Toji.
of them do. That's why I picked the angel.
They didn't even do any. Never mind.
I thought you were gonna pick
Asuka.
Ritsuko.
No, they both suck.
Wow. You know who doesn't
They
suck?
do. What's up?
Misato. She's a bad bitch.
Keep telling yourself that.
He's not wrong.
And she also has a lot of responsibility. She's gone through some shit. And, that's rough. And I like her. And her boyfriend is dead.
Oh my God. Of course you would say that. No. I think she's
Yeah.
probably one of the
I
more
like her.
She's one of the more well-developed characters.
I'd have a
Yeah.
beer with her.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I sit exactly like she
Cool
did
enough, I guess.
in those two scenes where she's at home sitting like crisscross applesauce and then like one leg.
Yeah, right? Me too.
I put in the Patreon chat when she was sitting with like one leg up, like horizontal, like vertically. I was sitting exactly the same way, and I was like, I get it. I get it. I
I'm
respect
her.
that. Just didn't have a beer with me.
As you do.
Misato's
Oh.
cool. I don't
What
know.
about you, Chuck?
She's fine. Hey guys. I picked Lelio, the 12th angel, which is the cool one that floats and put Shinji in itself and made him lose his mind.
So
and
you
they
want
had
to get
retrieve
bored?
him.
Is what you're saying?
lose control.
No, I want to
Angels make you
vor.
lose control.
Let's go. Yeah, I just it's just a cool one. I was between this guy and the spider one.
I like the spider one.
I don't like
But
the
this one's
spider one.
cool because he was actually like the shadow.
Well, and I think
And-
there's actual logic behind the squiggly, the
Oh, yeah.
designs on it.
Well, it's according to the profile on the Eva Wiki. Actually, I should be going to the actual Eva Wiki on evageeks.org. See if they have the angels correct here. Let me see if I find it. There it is. Okay, what do we got for this? Entity that exists in a pocket dimension, only explained by higher order physics theories. The real body is what appears to be the shadow on the ground. The manifestation of the body in our dimension is 680 meters wide, but only 3 nanometers thick. And the floating sphere is just the shadow it casts on our dimension. And it's an inverted AT field. That's all I got.
Okay.
And it makes Shinji go crazy. Makes him lose control.
I think that's a dumb pick, and that you're a stinky idiot.
Yeah, man.
You got me there. I am.
You just want to fill the holes in your life. That
With
didn't come out
angels.
right. Anyways.
Fill the holes in your voids.
Yeah, in your voids.
I do fill the voids in my holes. Anyway, guys, we got some emails. We
Oh,
got some letters.
hallelujah.
Hallelujah.
We got emails.
Oh boy. Okay, guys. Alex sent happy 100.
Oh, thank you.
Hey, Fap crew. Congratulations on 100
congratulations.
episodes. Congratulations.
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 And I'm writing this right after finishing the World Trigger episode.
Wow,
Can't wait to hear
congratulations, dude. Thank you.
Congratulations.
Can't wait to hear y'all's thoughts on Eva. End of Eva movie really just shows the physical actions happening during the finale.
Okay.
Hope we all know how powerful a mother's love can be. Don't forget to keep on fapping. Just hopefully not in hospital rooms. Thank you for making such an entertaining podcast.
Thank you, man.
Thank you for...
We do our best.
We
do
truly
do our
appreciate
best.
that. It's one of the nicest things anyone's ever said to us. Maybe because it's maybe the only thing that anyone's ever said to us. So we definitely appreciate that. I'm now looking more forward to the movie because I just want to understand. I don't know.
I want to know, and you're not letting me.
Well,
Just let me know.
the time may come.
Good email. Thank you, Alex. And
Yeah, that's it.
that's it.
No.
Cool.
Guys,
We don't even
guys,
get like can we just can you Chuck, I want you to do something for me. We haven't done this in like
Yeah.
nearly 30 episodes or something. Give me another installment of my favorite segment. Let me guess
Oh
another
my
anime
fucking
character,
God.
please.
Oh my god. I need to go on to
Gotta hit the
funny
random
little
button.
website
We can't we
and-
can't end episode 100 and not have what put us on the
Guys.
map in the first
Yeah, because this put us on the map.
Oh,
by now?
on when we do End of Eva, we're gonna have to find a which pilot are you quiz.
Oh my
Oh
god.
my fucking god. Here,
Which
let
child
me,
are you?
Let me shuffle.
The dead one.
Oh, Pino.
If I don't get Asuka, I'm gonna be mad.
Pino. Welcome to another episode of Fuck You, Pino, my favorite show on the
Dude,
internet.
everybody's searching.
where I have to describe a character that usually people will send me, which we haven't done in forever, but it's a character's birthday today, and so I will use this character as the basis. And so how this works, Pino's never lost.
I've never lost.
by the way,
First
if
try
you-
every time.
He's undefeated.
Undefeated.
So what happens is that I give a single descriptor. Pino guesses. If he's wrong, I give another, and we continue until we
Also-
get it. Garb can guess as much as he wants. It doesn't matter.
It's my favorite
Okay,
part.
first, he can just guess whatever, whenever. It doesn't matter. First, this character has purple eyes.
Purple eyes, and it's their birthday.
Don't cheat by looking up.
I'm not looking at
birthdays.
birthdays. You just told me it was their birthday. You gave me 2 hints already, so
It's a birthday on my
purple
birthday.
eyes.
Can I ask questions?
Yes,
And
you
it's
can
their
ask questions.
birthday.
I
Is
might
it-
not answer them.
Is it a Love Live character?
It can't
No.
be. Nozomi's
Okay.
birthday is not. It's not anywhere near this.
I forget what color Johanne's eyes are.
Like kind of
They
bluish.
kind of
I
kind of
think.
bluish.
I thought it might have been her.
Pino.
Is it a Love Light character though?
I
No,
said
he said no.
Pino, give me an answer.
All right. Purple-eyed characters that I know. Okay, off the top of my head, I'm not colorblind, but I'm gonna pretend I am. Shh, don't tell Chuck. Let's say it is. It's a character from Naruto. His name is Purple Eye McGee. No, his name is Sai. He doesn't have purple eyes. I'm just pretending.
No, it's not Sai. Next, this character is female.
That doesn't help me at all, but I'm gonna guess it's Sai from Naruto. I'm kidding. I'm gonna guess. Okay, so it's female, purple eyes, and it's their birthday today. It's the 27th. I was not on Twitter today, so if I know who it is, it would be on there. But I'm not gonna click Twitter. I don't know. I don't remember if Torpedo Girl has purple eyes, but is it Torpedo Girl?
It is not Torpedo Girl.
Dang it.
Next, this character is magical.
Is it a Sailor Moon?
Oh, is this a
It's not a
Madoka?
Sailor
Is it a
Moon.
Homura from Madoka Magica?
He did
Yo,
it!
let's go!
Pino did it! It's the bad
Congratulations!
character.
Dude, thank you,
But
dude.
It's the
Copyright.
bad character. Yay!
Dude.
It's Homura. Remember, guys, don't watch Madoka. It's bad.
watch this.
Don't truly.
No, watch it.
But yes. Yes, that's it. Anyway, great. Email us pictures of characters. We'll maybe say them on the
Please,
show,
I
and
missed that
I'll get to
segment.
tell Pino to fuck himself again. But before, in miscellaneous, because I don't know if we have any Eva miscellaneous.
I didn't know there were video
no.
games. Thank you for telling me. That's the only miscellaneous.
Yeah, there's a lot. There's like a lot. There's like 20 video games, I think. But I wanted to ask, and I should have asked you guys to think about this before, but is there any moment or episode that still sticks with you
DDR.
100 episodes in?
Oh, like any one of our episodes?
yeah.
Like our episodes or the anime episodes?
Moment or our episodes.
Wow. This is
I will
gonna
never forget Pop Team Epic.
Pop Team
that-
Epic is
That's a classic. That's a certified hood classic.
that
I
one.
really appreciate. I think it was Axel in the Patreon who mentioned that they greatly appreciate that episode. So I actually put a lot of effort into that one.
That was so fun.
It's true.
Appreciate it.
That was such a crazy time to just record that. I don't know. I still can't believe I'm the only one who rated that show, but it's okay. I've coped
It was
with
3.
it. I've accepted it.
It was, your fucking delivery on that was so good.
I ranked it honestly. I don't know.
Go,
I'm gonna give it
go
a
back and
3.
watch that if you haven't seen it
Yeah.
yet. It's probably awful now.
No,
and
I've
it's-
watched it maybe like
30
3 months
minutes
ago. It's still
long.
pretty good, I think. Then again, my
Fino,
opinions are
what'd you-
questionable. Wow, 100 episodes. What episode stuck with me?
Like either like episode or like the show that we watched for an episode, I guess. We could also say.
I remember the Cell Saga episode being good.
Oh, dude, it's a Saiyan Pride.
Yeah,
it
that's right.
doesn't
There was
cut
the
corners.
burger bit.
It doesn't cut
Fucking
corners.
Thumbnail.
That's a really good one. I have a lot of good memories of that. Personally, I have a lot of fun memories of specifically Yu Yu Hakusho, because I remember we did some silly voices.
We did some
in
Kawaii
that.
voices, and we made fun of George a
Yeah,
lot.
And also Planets. Planets I have a lot of very fun memories
One
of.
of
Well,
our
that's just a
realer
show that-
episodes.
Yeah, and that's a show that I've really thought about a lot lately.
Yeah.
Because the concept of all that shit in space is becoming more and more
Is
relevant as the days go on. And yeah, that show came out in what, like 2011?
Yeah.
Like
2009?
2009, I think. Let me look it up real quick. But yeah, it's old. I love Planets. Planets, phenomenal if you haven't watched it yet. No, it's fucking 2003.
Holy shit.
Wow.
Yeah, it's a long time ago.
They really had some foresight there.
Mhm.
Yeah, if you're listening to this episode, Just watch Planets.
Watch it.
Don't watch our
Planets is
episode
good.
on it. Just watch Planets.
I think the dub-
then you can
Planets
watch the
is-
episode on it.
The dub is really good if you want to watch the dub.
I think the Death Parade episode is probably one of the most solid episodes we've done. Like, I think we were really just on something. We didn't take our giggle juice. I don't know what it's going.
It was serious.
Yeah, it was cool. That was a cool show. However, I don't know why I still think about this show. I don't even remember what I rated it, but I Tamako Market, I don't know, something about it.
Tamako Market's great.
Pretty
You
cute.
just hate slice of life, but you
dude,
love
I don't
slice
hate
of
it,
life.
dude. Anyways,
Durarara.
oh,
That's
man.
a good
Dude.
one.
We'll never go
I'm
back.
I'm very glad that you introduced us to that one, Pino. 'Cause
Man, it's a good show.
And
In-
Bakano.
in hindsight, I really enjoyed Durarara. Yeah, Bakudo as well. Very good.
We've watched a lot of good stuff.
Yeah, it's the good stuff.
Bobobo, we got.
I mean, Bobo's like an actual.
Chuck, I'd like to
classic.
apologize to you about the Yump episode. That's probably the most negative one
Dude.
there.
You both hated it.
Yump is so
It was just
pure.
boring. It wasn't
Yump
bad.
is
it was
goated
just
though.
boring.
It's
It's
goaded
funny.
though. It's so wonderful.
I don't like
so,
slice of life.
It is comfy. I will agree that it is
It's
very
so
comfy.
it's perfect. It's perfect for winter, sitting with a cup of tea or hot cocoa, snuggled up in some blankets, and just watching anime girls explore Japan. It's great. I love it.
I feel like I need to rewatch the Darling and the Franks episode
The
Darling
Sissy
in the
Flu
Freak
because
episode.
I was
sucks,
the
bro.
Sissy Flu episode because I was on something else that episode.
You were like coming right out of a sickness or
Yeah.
something.
Yeah,
like an
I had the
actual
flu.
like flu.
With the sickness.
Yeah, like the actual flu. Ugh,
It was the Sissy Flu.
it truly was. Man,
Dr. Stone was fun.
Dr.
what'd you
Stone
say?
is just a good anime.
Dr.
fucking
Stone.
in general.
Yeah, that one was really good.
Dr. Stone's goated, so
I'm excited to get to watch more of that too.
for sure.
Is that second season? Is it done?
Yeah.
It is done, yeah.
Okay,
I
cool.
watched it, but I want the third season to be. Well, the third season's coming out relatively soon. It was announced. I can't
Oh
remember
wow.
the date.
Okay.
And then I mean, like more recent, Anohana fucking destroyed me. You know, it's just a phenomenal show.
Yeah.
And also, Love is War.
Love is war. Love is war. Love is war. Yeah,
But yeah.
that was a good one. What was the fucking School Rumble one? That
School
was the
Rumble
one where they had
fucking
stands,
blew.
right?
No, that was Baka and Test.
Baka
and
to
Test.
test that one.
Baka 2 Test is a fun one.
I like that one.
I completely zoned out for about 30 minutes of that episode. So if you want to listen back and like
I
try and
remember
see
that.
where I just go dead silent for half the episode, that's just me. Like I was disassociating. Like I don't know what was happening to me, guys. But that's just something I always remember that I just was not present. Ah man.
Hey, if you have a favorite episode or a favorite show, let us know.
Let us know. We're on Twitter. We're on email. Email us at funkyanimePodcast@gmail.com. You can contact us. And I mean, we have 2 more 100th episodes to do. So
Yeah, you got time.
We're not stopping anytime.
you got
soon.
time. Yeah. So, I mean, I guess rankings.
Nah, I'm ready for it. Dude,
Fuck.
I'm as hungry as that one
I-
angel that ate Shinji, dude.
Okay, Pino, you go first. Then.
All right. First, I'd like to start off by preface by saying I always appreciate watching any anime except for maybe Dokuro-chan. I'm glad I was able to have this experience of watching Evangelion finally after so many years. It's a show, all right. I'm gonna meme about saying I hate the show, but there's something in it that is quite enjoyable. Rating wise, I'm going to give this at the moment. I'm not giving the whole series. Again, we're just 26 episodes.
Yeah,
I think we'll do that again once we watch End of Eva. We'll give End of Eva its own ranking and then rank them all.
Yeah.
Yeah, we can do that. That's
I'm
fine.
giving the anime itself a 3 out of 5.
Yeah.
Yeah, a 3 out of 5. 3 out of 5. I liked
Okay.
it to a point when it was good. but everything else was kind of just like empty space. Like I could watch this head empty, and then it was like, oh yeah, turn your brain on right now, and I'm just like, I'm not ready. What am I doing? Where's my notepad? But yeah, 3 out of 5. Should you watch it? Might as well. Every anime person has watched it or seen it and has an opinion about it. But,
well, they say they watched it or seen it.
Yeah, give it a shot. If it's your cup of tea, I'm happy for you. If it's not, welcome to the club. Just kidding. No. No. But check it out. If it's there's something about it. Maybe I don't see it. Who's next?
Garb.
Never know. Oh, this is a tough one, actually. Usually with ratings for me, it's just fucking throw a number out there, call it a day. But this one's kind of hard. I did enjoy it, even though we've got a lot of complaints about it. A lot of the episodes were easy for me to keep watching on, but like Pino was saying, sometimes it's like, nope, you got to flip your brain on and you need to pay attention in this episode. It's like, what? But I did enjoy it. And so I think I will give it a 3.3.
Wow, it's higher than I thought.
Hopefully it's going to go up from there.
Yeah, hopefully.
I'd like to see that happen.
Chuck, my
we'll
boy.
See.
Guys, I'm ranking it a little bit lower. Lower than...
You're a braver man than I, dude.
I mean, truly, I've had so many just absolute, like, against the grain takes on this podcast that, like, it's come to a point that, like, there's no point in trying to soften a blow. I'm giving it a 2.7.
You're so brave.
I truly do not think the show does a lot of things well. I think it's very carried by symbolism, music, and animation. The characters, for the most part, are uninteresting. The concepts are not explained well. The story is so confusing and convoluted, and it's up its own ass too much to fully enjoy. I hope my opinions change with End of Eva, but I don't know if they will. And just straight out the gate, if I need to read a wiki, consult 3 different primary sources and secondary sources to figure out what the plot is about, you did not make your anime correct. You did not create a successful anime. And while there's still redeeming qualities, that's why it's above an average, but not by much, because truly the first half just felt like a normal anime. Like a run-of-the-mill Monster of the Week. Second half just was a convoluted mess. Mm-hmm. And so it just didn't flow well. It didn't work well. And like, so you know what? Fuck it, crucify me. I don't give a shit.
Crucify me like Lilith,
dude. Yeah, like Adam and Lilith. Just take me off, baby. But yeah, Eva overrated, and that's how I feel. And hopefully, in like 4 weeks, we'll see if my episode on Rebuild has me feeling any different.
Yeah, or who knows? Maybe End of Eva, ties some up.
We'll see. Maybe we'll see. Garb,
sign us out.
Yeah, so we're back in the regular old reality now.
I'm short again.
Okay.
Yeah, it's all right.
Yippee!
No longer as tall as Conan O'Brien. This is a sad day.
It was fun while it lasted.
Yeah.
Well, I'm Garb. I'm done piloting. I think I'll let you live your own life now, Pino.
Thank you. I don't even know what I was doing, but I'll do it.
Just stomping.
Yeah.
General havoc.
Of course.
It's a good time. And we finally got Chuck scraped off the bottom of the shoe. We've got him reinflated. How you feeling, buddy?
I feel like a balloon.
Can he get much higher?
Yeah.
Well, I think
get much higher.
It's the most important thing of all. And if this show had one good message, it's to tell your mom you love her.
Yeah.
Yes, tell your mom you love her. And we'll see you guys next episode for the End of Eva movie.
Does that mean next episode's 101, or is it still part of the 100 episodes?
It's still 100 part 2, baby.
Yeah.
We can name it. We can name it 100. We can name 103rd.
Dude, 100.1, 100.2, just like the titles of these new movies.
I thought about that. I did.
We'll
think
figure it
about
out.
that.
We'll see titling when I
We have time.
post
Let's
it.
go, dude.
Let's go, guys. Tell your mom you love her. We'll see you guys to suffer more with Eva.
Later.
Fly me
Later.
to the moon.
Let me lay among the stars. Let me see.
Oh,
what
we just got copyright stroke. No.
Wait, I fucked it up anyway.
That's okay.
In other words,
Hold my
please
hand.
be true. In other
In other
words, suck my nuts.
darling, kiss me.
Okay, I'm
I'm done too.
That was a
Fuck this
lovely
shit.
ending.